Chapter 952. Your Su Chen. When he saw Su Chen's appearance clearly, Wei Yang was stunned for a moment, and then his expression became somewhat unnatural. Although Su Chen was a cultivator of the 10,000 races, his reputation had long spread throughout the void. Not only had Wei Yang heard of Su Chen's name, but he had also seen Su Chen's portrait, so he recognized him at a glance. He is Su Chen? Fang Qishan looked at Su Chen in a daze, and his heart was filled with extreme shock. It was rumored that Su Chen was extraordinarily talented, powerful, and extremely ferocious. Countless experts had died in his hands, and almost everywhere he went, he would set off a storm of blood, but no one could stop him. I can't believe he's with this killing god. Fang Qishan clicked his tongue fiercely, and his heart was very complicated. You know me? Su Chen looked at Wei Yang and let out a soft sound of surprise. Wei Yang nodded and then said, Su Chen, Blacktooth City has no enmity with you. Why did you barge in? And start a massacre? If it was someone else, he would definitely not have killed Sorrow directly. But facing Su Chen, he could not do so. Since Su Chen's debut, he had never been defeated, and the number of sage-level experts who had died in his hands was almost uncountable. Even as a Stage 4 sage-level expert, he did not dare to underestimate Su Chen. I was just passing through, but your people insisted on attacking me, so I had no choice but to kill them, Su Chen said very naturally. You mean we were wrong? Wei Yang asked in a muffled voice. This was Blacktooth City, the territory of the Void Beasts. Su Chen had barged in for no reason, and even made a false accusation, which made him very angry. Of course you were wrong. Su Chen snorted and said coldly, You should know the way I, Su Chen, do things. If people don't offend me, I won't offend them. If they don't offend me, why would I attack them? Looking at Su Chen's confident expression, Wei Yang was furious. It was clearly Su Chen who was in the wrong, but when it came out of Su Chen's mouth, it sounded as if he was forced to do so. Then what exactly do you want? Wei Yang suppressed his anger and asked. Even if he was furious to the extreme, he did not want to have a falling out with Su Chen, because he didn't have the slightest confidence that he could kill Su Chen. Once Su Chen escaped or was defeated by Su Chen, the consequences would be unimaginable. He couldn't afford to pay such a price. Since you know your limits, I will leave Blacktooth City if you give me some rewards, Su Chen said in a low voice. If Wei Yang did not come, he would have left immediately. But since Wei Yang was here, he might as well take the opportunity to get some benefits. Fang Qishan, who was at the side, was stunned. If other people rashly barged into Blacktooth City, they would be lucky to survive. Su Chen, on the other hand, not only killed people here, he also wanted to extort a sum of money. He was simply lawless. The corner of Wei Yang's mouth twitched. After hesitating for a while, he finally compromised. He took out 2 black ores from his storage bag and threw them to Su Chen. What ores are these? Su Chen looked at them carefully. He did not recognize the ores, so he asked. They are called black pure ores. They can be used to refine divine weapons, and can also help raise the level of strange fire, Wei Yang explained. He knew that Su Chen would not be interested in ordinary things, and would even incur Su Chen's anger. He might as well give the black pure ores and let Su Chen, the jinx, leave quickly. Su Chen's eyes lit up. Something that could help raise the level of strange fire was exactly what he needed. He never thought that he would get it in Blacktooth City. It was indeed an unexpected surprise. Chapter 953. However, Su Chen had no idea which one was better between the black pure stone and the spirit gathering stone. After pondering for a while, he opened the pet rearing space and contacted the bone chill nether fire. Little Goo, do you know about the black pure stone? Master, the black pure stone is similar to the spirit gathering stone. They can both help our strange fire level up, the bone chill nether fire replied immediately. How many black pure stones does Little Thunder need to level up to the holy fire level? Su Chen continued asking. The 9 spirit thunder flame was only at level 8. Its level was too low. It could only be used when it leveled up to the holy fire level. The quality of the black pure stone is slightly better than the spirit gathering stone, but you need at least 4 of them. The bone-chill nether fire replied after thinking for a while. At least 4 of them? Su Chen pondered for a while and asked Wei Yang, do you have any more black pure stones? 2 black pure stones were obviously not enough to satisfy his appetite. If Wei Yang had any more, he planned to get them all. No. Wei Yang said straightforwardly. The black pure stones were not cabbages. He was lucky to have gotten 2 of them. Moreover, even if he had more, he would not say it out loud. You really don't have any more? Su Chen stared at Wei Yang with an unfriendly look in his eyes. Su Chen, I really don't have any more. Don't push me too far. Wei Yang said through gritted teeth. He had already made a huge concession. If Su Chen still did not give up, he could only fight Su Chen head-on. Seeing that Wei Yang did not look like he was lying, Su Chen said calmly, if you don't have any more, then you don't have any more. Why are you so agitated? Are you acting like I stole something from you? Wei Yang almost choked to death when he heard that. He had just extorted the black pure stones. What was the difference between that and daylight robbery? Were all the cultivators of the myriad races so shameless? However, he could only curse in his heart. He did not dare to say anything to Su Chen. Su Chen did not want to waste time here. He took out the intelligent war chariot and called out to Fang Qishan, Old Fang, let's go. All right. Fang Qishan reacted and quickly boarded the intelligent war chariot. If Su Chen left him here alone, he would definitely be beaten to a pulp. Just now, he was a little worried that Su Chen would not care about him. Fortunately, Su Chen was very trustworthy. Satoshi, leave this place. After getting in the car, Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and left. They're finally gone. Wei Yang let out a long sigh of relief when the intelligent war chariot disappeared from his sight. Old Fang, this place shouldn't be far from Meguang City, right? Su Chen asked on the way. There were still a few months before the Starry Sky tournament. He wanted to take advantage of this time to wander around and see if he could get some spirit-gathering stones and black pure stones to help the 9 spirit lightning flame become a sacred flame. It is indeed very close. We can reach there in less than a day, Fang Qishan replied. You lead the way to Meguang City. When you get there, you can leave. Su Chen ordered. He had said before that he would let Fang Qishan go after leaving Blacktooth City. Thank you, senior. Fang Qishan thanked him and was relieved. Although Su Chen was powerful, he had offended too many people. Following Su Chen, it was hard to guarantee that he would not be implicated. It was better to leave as soon as possible. Su Chen nodded and then asked, Old Fang, which force is in control of Meguang City? Now that his whereabouts had been exposed, not only did he have to guard against heaven-scattering Taoist, but also the Han family and the Gu family. He did not want to enter their territory again. Chapter 954. Meguang City belongs to the Fire Demon race. Fang Qishan said, Fire Demon race? Su Chen pondered and asked, how is the strength of the Fire Demon race? It was the first time he had heard of the Fire Demon race, so he wanted to know more about them. The strongest person of the Fire Demon race is called Hua Huan, a 4th stage Saint rank fire-attributed spirit caster and evolver. His strength is abnormally strong, not much worse than an ordinary 5th stage Saint rank. Fang Qishan said and reminded again, the Fire Demon race is very grumpy, and they will fight with people at the slightest disagreement. Su Chen was also a master who would fight at the slightest disagreement. He was a little worried that Su Chen would have a conflict with the Fire Demon race as soon as he entered Meguang City. Su Chen didn't care much. It had nothing to do with him whether the Fire Demon race was grumpy or not, as long as they didn't act grumpy in front of him. Otherwise, he would have to change the Fire Demon race's temper. After a while, Su Chen sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. The intelligent war chariot flew for a day, and a huge city gradually appeared in front of them. Senior, we've arrived at Meguang City. Fang Qishan reminded. Su Chen slowly opened his eyes, glanced at Meguang City, and ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, enter the city. Like the flaming leaf forest, Meguang City was also wrapped in a layer of energy shield. If you want to enter, you can only enter from the designated passage. At this time, there were several fire demon race members guarding the passage, and anyone who enters must pay a certain amount of void energy stones. Su Chen put away the intelligent war chariot and landed at the entrance of the passage with Fang Qishan. There were many people entering in front, so Su Chen didn't break the rules and waited slowly. When it was their turn, a fire demon race member glanced at Su Chen and said coldly, "Humans are not allowed to enter." Su Chen was taken aback for a moment and asked puzzledly, "Why?" Just now, he saw clearly that there were many other races entering Maguang City, so why did they not let the human race enter? There is no reason. This is the rule of Maguang City. Hurry up and leave. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. The fire demon guard snorted coldly. Fang Qishan had a bad feeling when he heard this. What kind of person was Su Chen? Even void beasts at the 4th level of the Saint Realm had to submit to him. A mere guard of the fire demon clan dared to talk to Su Chen with such an attitude? Did he want to die? Fang Qishan could already imagine that this guard would be in big trouble. Maybe the entire Maguang City would be implicated. Once the battle began, he would not be able to escape unscathed. After all, he had come here with Su Chen. You better give me a reasonable explanation. Otherwise, I will think that you are discriminating against us humans. Su Chen's voice gradually turned cold, and his body emitted a faint murderous aura. As a member of the human race, he would never allow other races to discriminate against him. If anyone dared to do this, he would teach them a lesson and make them change their mind. Give you an explanation? The fire demon clan guard snorted and said with a look of disdain, "Boy, do you know where this is? This is Maguang City, the territory of our fire demon clan. Do we need to explain to a weak human like you? Hurry up and get lost. Otherwise, I will kill you on the spot." A cold light flashed in Su Chen's eyes, and he released his mental force. While binding the fire demon clan guard, he grabbed his neck. "Those who humiliate my human race must die." Su Chen snorted coldly and then broke the neck of the fire goblin clan guard. Chapter 955. Witnessing this scene, the outsiders at the entrance were all dumbfounded. Since when were the humans so ferocious? Killing people just like that? One must know that Maguang City was the lair of the Hua clan, and the Hua clan was one of the top 10 hidden clans in the void. Their strength was absolutely not to be underestimated. Su Chen was just a human, but he dared to kill people in front of the Hua clan. Wasn't he too bold? Wasn't he afraid of suffering the revenge of the Hua clan? Fang Qishan also trembled in fear. He had long known that Su Chen had a bad temper, but he didn't expect him to be violent to this extent, killing people just because of a disagreement. It was as if he didn't put the Fire Goblin clan in Maguang City in his eyes at all. "You dare to kill people?" The guards of the Fire Demon tribe reacted and were immediately enraged. They surrounded Su Chen. "I've already killed them. If you don't accept it, you can continue." Su Chen glanced at them and said flatly. Even if the Fire Goblin clan guards were furious to the extreme, none of them dared to make a move. There was no other reason. The strength Su Chen showed was too strong. He could kill a level 10 cultivator with a raise of his hand. He was definitely a saint-rank existence. If they dared to make a move, there was only one outcome, which was to be beheaded on the spot. Since you don't dare to make a move, then get lost. Don't hinder me from entering the city. Su Chen snorted coldly and walked straight into the city. Under the deterrence of Su Chen, the Fire Goblin clan guards retreated and took the initiative to make way for Su Chen. Aren't the Fire Goblin clan guards too scared? They are one of the top 10 hidden clans. How could they just let this human kid kill people and enter the city? What do you know? This human is a saint-rank existence. Who dares to stop him? But there are many Fire Goblin clan saints in Maguang City. This kid still dares to enter. Isn't he afraid of being killed? The human race is proud and arrogant. He thinks he can look down on everyone just because he has reached the saint level. He doesn't know that there are countless beings in the void who are more powerful than him. He even dares to kill the guards of the Fire Demon clan. He will die for sure as long as he enters the city. Seeing that Su Chen still dared to enter the city, the surrounding strange races started to whisper among themselves. They all agreed that once Su Chen entered the city, he would definitely not be able to come out alive. Who dares to behave atrociously in my Miguang city? Just as Su Chen was about to enter Miguang city, a cold roar entered his ears. Su Chen stopped and took a closer look. He saw a fire demon clansman who was as strong as a small mountain running out of the city. Elder Huafeng of the fire demon clan has come out. This human brat is dead for sure. As soon as the flame edge appeared, a commotion broke out all around. Human, did you kill my clan's guards? Huafeng pointed at the corpse of the fire demon clan's guard on the ground and questioned coldly. Yes. Su Chen admitted it generously. Give me a reason. Huafeng suppressed his anger and stared at Su Chen. Su Chen's indifferent attitude made him mutter to himself, so he didn't make a move immediately. Your fire demon clan dares to discriminate against my human race, you deserve to die. If you have the same idea as him, I don't mind killing you too. Su Chen said calmly. But the domineering and unscrupulous tone in his words were unreservedly revealed. Hiss! Suddenly, there was a sound of cold air being sucked in. Huafeng was a second-level saint-level powerhouse, yet Su Chen still dared to speak so arrogantly. Was he fearless? Or was he ignorant and fearless? A group of strange races were looking forward to a good show. Chapter 956. Huafeng took a deep breath, and a strong murderous aura spread out from his body. Affected by his aura, the surrounding aliens retreated. How arrogant! I'd like to see how you're going to kill me today. Huafeng could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. With a roar, he charged at Su Chen. A mere human dared to spout such nonsense in the fire demon tribe's territory. If he couldn't kill him, how could he survive in the void? What would the other aliens think of the fire demon tribe? Therefore, no matter what, he had to kill Su Chen today and tell the world that this was the consequence of offending the fire demon tribe. Huafeng is in trouble. Fang Qishan let out a sigh and quickly retreated. Among everyone present, he was the only one who knew Su Chen's true identity, and he had seen how powerful Su Chen was. A third-stage Saint-rank Void Beast was killed like an ant by Su Chen, and a fourth-stage Saint-rank Void Beast was so intimidated by Su Chen that it couldn't move. Huafeng, a mere second-stage Saint-rank, dared to show off in front of Su Chen? Wasn't he seeking death? You're overestimating yourself. Su Chen's mouth was filled with contempt. Just as Huafeng was about to reach him, he released his spiritual force and restrained Huafeng. Although they were both second-stage saint ranks, Su Chen had eaten 20 essence fruits twice, so his spiritual force was far stronger than his peers. It wasn't any weaker than a third-stage saint rank. Huafeng felt as if he was trapped in a swamp, and all his movements became extremely sluggish. Spiritual force. How can it be so powerful? Huafeng was inexplicably shocked. His voice trembled as he spoke. The aliens around them also noticed that something was wrong. Huafeng, who was originally aggressive, stopped when he was about to reach Su Chen. It looked like he was being controlled. While they were still trying to figure out what was going on, Su Chen took a step forward, grabbed Huafeng by the neck, and lifted him into the air as if he were a chicken. Witnessing this scene, everyone's jaws dropped. Their faces were filled with shock and disbelief. They remembered clearly that Su Chen had strangled a Fire Yao guard just like that. However, the Fire Demon Clan guard was only at level 10, while Huafeng was a true second-stage saint rank. How could he be lifted up by the neck so easily? Woo-woo, Huafeng's face turned pale as he realized that Su Chen was a peak expert. He was so regretful that his intestines turned green. He wanted to beg for mercy. However, his neck was strangled and he could not speak at all. You fire demons are like ants in my eyes. How dare you look down on us humans? You deserve to die. Su Chen stared at Huafeng and snorted coldly. He then increased the strength of his hand, causing Huafeng to roll his eyes. Seeing that Huafeng was about to be strangled to death, an angry roar came from Miguang City. Stop, you dare to kill him? After all, you are going to turn him into ashes. Gotcha. What answered him was the crisp sound of something breaking. Su Chen mercilessly broke Huafeng's neck and threw him to the ground. Then, he turned to the Fire Demon clan member who spoke and said indifferently, "What I hate the most is others threatening me. He violated my taboo, so he must die." *CK. Seeing Su Chen mercilessly kill without hesitation, the surrounding outsiders were all dumbfounded. The one who came was a stooped old man from the Fire Demon clan. He did not expect that Su Chen would really dare to make a move and was about to explode in anger. "Kid, tell me your name. I don't kill nameless people." The stooped old man stared at Su Chen and shouted. Chapter 957. Su Chen. Su Chen said indifferently. Even if he didn't reveal his name, the other party would quickly find out about it, so he might as well say it. Su Chen? Which Su Chen? Could it be the god of slaughter Su Chen of the human race? When Su Chen revealed his name, the surroundings fell silent for a moment. When they finally reacted and found out about Su Chen's true identity, a huge wave of panic spread in their hearts. At this moment, all the strange races involuntarily retreated, and their eyes were filled with deep fear as they looked at Su Chen. It was rumored that Su Chen killed people like scything flax, especially towards the strange races. He was even more ruthless and would easily destroy cities and exterminate clans. They were all worried that they would be targeted by Su Chen. If Su Chen wanted to kill them, there was no chance of survival. When the hunchbacked old man heard the name, Su Chen, he was almost scared to death. He had just received news that Su Chen had slaughtered in Blacktooth City and left. Even the city lord of Blacktooth City, Wei Yang, had to lower his head in front of Su Chen. From this, it could be seen how terrifying Su Chen was. Although he was a Stage 3 Saint Stage expert, he knew that he was definitely not a match for Su Chen. "So it's Brother Su. I am Huaqin. I have long heard of Brother Su's great name. It is truly an honor to meet you today." The hunchbacked old man, Huaqin, licked his lips and tried to curry favor. As soon as he said this, not only was Su Chen stunned, even the strange races around were dumbfounded. Huaqin was so angry just now that he had declared that he would not stop until he killed Su Chen. Why did he seem like a different person in the blink of an eye? He even humbled himself and called Su Chen brother. This was too embarrassing. He even threw away the dignity of the fire demon race? As expected of Su Chen. Feng Qishan sighed inwardly. He could guess that the reason why Huaqin changed his attitude was completely because he was intimidated by Su Chen's reputation. One of the top 10 clans, the Hua clan, had a third-level Saint Realm expert, yet he had to bend his knees in front of Su Chen. From this, one could see how famous Su Chen was in the void. Su Chen collected the fragments without batting an eyelid. Then, he looked at Huaqin and said calmly, "Didn't you want to grind my bones to dust? Why are you admitting defeat now?" Gulp. Huaqin swallowed his saliva and said with an embarrassed smile, "Brother Su, I was just joking with you. How could I possibly fight with you?" "A joke?" Su Chen snorted and said meaningfully, "But you scolded me, and I'm a very vengeful person." Since Huaqin was so tactful, he really didn't want to continue attacking. However, he was unwilling to give up just like that. Therefore, he wanted to take the opportunity to extort a sum of money. If Huaqin gave something similar, he could forgive him once. Huaqin immediately took out a storage bag and handed it to Su Chen with a smile. "I offended you just now. This is a little compensation. I hope Brother Su will kindly accept it." Su Chen took it naturally and released his mental force. When he saw the things inside, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but rise. He smiled and said, "Old Hua, you are very sensible." There were not only a large number of void stones in the storage bag, but also several spirit-gathering stones. Spirit-gathering stones could help improve the level of the strange flame. The purpose of coming to Maguang City was for spirit-gathering stones. Since Huaqin was so tactful, he wouldn't bother with him. Hearing that Su Chen was going to let him go, Huaqin breathed a sigh of relief. Chapter 959. The Void Battlefield was a small, damaged continent. Even in the vast and boundless void, It was incomparably huge. It was definitely not something an island like the Flaming Leaf Forest could compare to. 3 days later, the intelligent war chariot came to a place a few miles away from the void battlefield. Su Chen squinted and looked outside, only to see that the periphery of the void battlefield was densely covered with a large number of void turbulence and a layer of faintly discernible energy shield. In addition, there were some miasma-like things mixed in, making it look even more strange. Satoshi, search for the entrance, Su Chen ordered. Even though he had reached the second stage of the saint level and had the ancient god-fiend body, he did not intend to take the risk and barge in. According to the information he had previously inquired about, there were a total of 2 entrances to the void battlefield. One belonged to the Alliance of the 10,000 Races, and the other belonged to the Void Beasts. He was planning to enter from the Alliance of the 10,000 Races. Master, I found it. After searching for a while, the intelligent war chariot soon found the location of the entrance and transmitted the image to the central control screen. Su Chen focused his eyes and saw that somewhere in the void battlefield, there was a huge city standing tall and upright. This city was connected to the void battleground. At this moment, there were tens of thousands of cultivators of the 10,000 races gathered outside the city. Among them were cultivators of the human race, but there were very few of them, only a dozen or so. Su Chen could imagine that these people must be participating in the void battlefield. Satoshi, speed up and go there, Su Chen ordered. The void battlefield was about to open, and he did not want to miss this opportunity. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and flew at full speed in a certain direction. Half an hour later, they arrived in front of him. At this moment, the cultivators of the Alliance of the 10,000 Races were lining up and entering the city in an orderly manner. Su Chen glanced at them, put away the intelligent war chariot, and flew toward the city gate. There were tens of thousands of people waiting in line, and he did not know how long they would have to wait. He did not want to waste time here. Su Chen landed in front of the city gate and walked inside. This action of cutting the queue immediately caused the surrounding cultivators to be very displeased. In addition, Su Chen was a young human, so they didn't take him seriously and started to clamor. Human, scram to the back of the line. A puny human dares to cut the queue? Are you tired of living? Private fights were strictly prohibited here, so they only scolded a few times and did not attack Su Chen. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and snorted coldly. Whoever dares to talk nonsense again, kill them on the spot. After saying that, he continued to walk towards the city gate as if he was taking a stroll. Seeing how arrogant Su Chen was, the cultivators of the myriad clans around were stunned for a moment before they were completely enraged. One had to know that there were more than 10,000 cultivators here. Su Chen was just a human, yet he didn't put them in his eyes. He was simply too arrogant. It was so outrageous that it made one's hair stand on end. A saint-level existence of the God clan noticed the situation here and flew over. His eyes fell on Su Chen as he questioned coldly, "Human, why don't you line up?" Su Chen said indifferently, "Nothing, I just don't want to waste time." Don't want to waste time? The God clan's saint-level existence opened his mouth slightly and then sneered. "You're just a human, and you think you're a nobody? Since you don't abide by the rules, go to hell." All of a sudden, a violent mental power crushed towards Su Chen. "Serves you right. This is what you get for showing off." The cultivators of the myriad races all mocked him. In their opinion, Su Chen would definitely die if the God clan's saint-level expert attacked. Chapter 960. Su Chen stood still on the spot without the slightest hint of panic on his face. Instead, there was a strange smile on his face as he allowed the mental strength of the God race to crush him. "Kid, be a human in your next life and open your eyes. There are some occasions where an ant like you can't show off." The God race saint-level thought that Su Chen had been scared silly. He laughed maniacally and manipulated his mental strength to crush Su Chen. "You're too naive." Su Chen narrowed his eyes and sneered. The God race saint-level was only at stage 1, while he was at stage 2 and had the ancient god-fiend body. It was ridiculous that the other party wanted to kill him with that level of cultivation. In the next moment, When the mental strength of the god race saint level touched Su Chen's body, it seemed to have been counterattacked by an invisible force and was easily defeated. How is this possible? Seeing this scene, the god race saint level exclaimed in horror. The pair of eyes that looked at Su Chen were filled with deep horror and disbelief. He really couldn't figure out why he couldn't cause any harm to Su Chen with his mental strength. Could it be that Su Chen's physical body was so strong that he could ignore mental strength attacks? The cultivators of the thousands of races around also realized that something was wrong and began to talk about it. What's going on? Why isn't this kid dead yet? He seems to have ignored the mental strength of the god race saint level. Ignored? The cultivators of the thousands of races were shocked. The fact that he could ignore the mental strength of a saint-level existence meant that Su Chen's physical body was extremely strong and his cultivation level was definitely not lower than that of the god race saint level. He's a stage 2 saint-level powerhouse. Suddenly, someone exclaimed in shock. It was like a stone that stirred up 1,000 ripples. The crowd immediately fell into a huge panic. A stage 2 saint-level powerhouse was inviolable. They had all mocked Su Chen before. Would Su Chen let them off? Once Su Chen made a move against them, even if they joined forces, they would not be a match for him. This was because they were all below the saint rank. The strongest among them was only level 10. There was no way they could withstand the attack of a level 2 saint rank. "Human, who are you?" asked the god race saint level master with a trembling voice. Realizing that Su Chen was also a saint level expert, and even stronger than him, he started to feel uneasy. However, there was one thing that puzzled him. There weren't many human sages, and he knew every single one of them. However, this was the first time that Su Chen had seen such a thing. Could it be that he had just become a saint? Who else could be a new saint-level human? Could it be, as if thinking of something, the god race saint-level sovereign's face turned deathly pale and his body trembled slightly. "Since you made the first move, don't blame me for being impolite." Su Chen snorted coldly. He suddenly released his mental force and swept it toward the divine race sage. "Wait a minute." The god race saint-level beast tamer roared desperately. However, Su Chen was not affected at all. In the next moment, the divine race sage was firmly restrained. He did not even have the chance to speak. What a terrifying mental force. Who exactly is he? The surrounding cultivators were terrified and retreated one after another. "Stop it." Just as Su Chen was about to kill the divine race sage, a majestic voice drifted over. Immediately after, a dozen figures approached from afar. Judging from the aura that they exuded, they were all sages. "Su Chen, let him go. Otherwise, I'll turn you into ashes." When more than a dozen saints appeared in front of them, one of the god race men shouted. Chapter 961. The Su Chen? After knowing Su Chen's true identity, the cultivators of the myriad races couldn't help but tremble. Su Chen was notorious, and they had naturally heard of him. At this moment, they were a little uneasy. Su Chen looked at the god race man who spoke and sneered. "You think you can threaten me?" As soon as he finished speaking, he used his mind power to pull the god race man closer and grabbed his neck. Seeing that Su Chen ignored his threat, the god race man flew into a rage and roared, "Su Chen, if you dare to hurt a hair of my people, you'll regret living in this world." "Ha!" Su Chen pursed his lips and snapped the god race man's neck in front of everyone. Crack! With a crisp breaking sound, the god race man's head tilted to the side and he died on the spot. Hiss! Seeing this scene, the sound of cold air being sucked in could be heard from all around. It was rumored that Su Chen was unscrupulous and would kill people at the slightest disagreement. Today, they saw that he lived up to his reputation. "I'm going to kill you." The veins on the god race man's face bulged, and he could no longer contain the anger in his heart. Just as he was about to attack Su Chen, he was stopped by an elder from the Night Demon clan. Su Chen glanced at the god race man and said disdainfully, "You're just an ant. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Believe it or not, I can kill you with one finger." "You?" The god race man was so angry that his mouth trembled. However, he had calmed down now. He knew that if he fought Su Chen one-on-one, he would die, so he didn't continue to attack. Su-Chen, what are you trying to do? The elder from the Night Demon clan stared at Su-Chen and asked coldly. I just want to enter the Void Battleground. If you know what's good for you, get lost and I won't bother with you. If you try to stop me, I'll kill all of you. Su-Chen said calmly. These words were like a sudden clap of thunder. None of the myriad races cultivators present could remain calm. Too arrogant. Too arrogant. It was true that Su-Chen was known as the god of slaughter and was exceptionally powerful, but there were more than a dozen saint-level experts present. Furthermore, the elder from the Night Demon clan was a third-stage saint-rank existence. Su-Chen still did not put them in his eyes. He was too condescending. The Night Demon elder took a deep breath and suppressed his anger. Su-Chen, there are clear rules to enter the Void Battleground. Only those below the saint level can enter. You're already a second-level saint, so you can't enter. Leave quickly. Although his level was higher than Su-Chen's, he did not have the slightest confidence that he would be a match for Su-Chen. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he did not want to fall out with Su-Chen. Rules are dead, but people are alive. Today, I'll change the rules. I'm going to enter the Void Battleground. Anyone who tries to stop me will be killed without mercy. Su-Chen narrowed his eyes and raised his voice. Su-Chen, this is the Void, not the continent. Do you really think you're invincible? Do you think we won't kill you? A saint level from the Dharma clan glared at him and threatened. Su-Chen pursed his lips and smiled faintly. I'm not invincible right now, but I'm more than enough to deal with a bunch of ants like you. Shameless boasting. The expressions of the group of saint-level experts became extremely unsightly. Being humiliated by Su-Chen in front of tens of thousands of cultivators made their anger reach its peak. Su-Chen is not only the scum of the human race, but also the scourge of all races. I suggest we all work together to kill him, a second-stage saint-level human suggested. Chapter 962. Family Head Su is right. We can't let Su-Chen continue to be so arrogant. The God Clan man immediately responded. Su-Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the second-stage Saint Realm human cultivator. He said coldly, You must be from the Su clan of Qingyun Island, right? He hadn't killed many people with the surname Su. The only one he knew was the Su clan of Qingyun Island. Since the human cultivator in front of him also had the surname Su, he became suspicious. This old man is Su Mao. Su Mao snorted coldly, then gritted his teeth and said, Su-Chen, you indiscriminately slaughtered my clansmen on Qingyun Island. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable. Since you're irreconcilable, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and kill me. Su-Chen sneered. Su Mao could only speak bravely. If he really had to make a move, he would instead be a coward. I'll let you be arrogant for a while. Su Mao gritted his teeth and turned to the Night Demon Elder, waiting for him to make a decision. Of all the people present, the Night Demon Elder had the highest cultivation. If he wanted to deal with Su-Chen, he had to take the lead. The Night Demon Elder looked at Su-Chen and said in a deep voice, Su-Chen, this old man will give you one more chance. Leave immediately and I'll pretend nothing happened. Su-Chen smiled contemptuously. I'll also give you one chance. Hand over Su Mao and that ant from the God Clan and get the hell out of here. I won't care about anything. Did the Night Demon Elder think a third-stage Saint Realm existence could threaten him? He was too naive. It wasn't like he hadn't killed a third-stage Saint Realm before. A few days ago, he killed a third-stage Saint Realm Void Beast in Blacktooth City. Therefore, the Night Demon Elder's threat was just a joke in his eyes. Since you don't know what's good for you, then die. The Night Demon Elder gnashed his teeth and roared. He was the first to charge at Su-Chen. Even a clay figurine had some temper. How could a third-level saint-rank expert be humiliated by Su-Chen? Of course, if he was alone, he would not dare to attack Su-Chen. However, with over a dozen saint-level experts gathered here, he didn't believe that so many experts couldn't deal with Su-Chen alone. When the Night Demon Elder attacked, the other saints also attacked Su-Chen. Among them, Su Mao and the God Clan man's performance was the most eye-catching. Since you're all rushing to your deaths, I'll fulfill your wishes. Su Chen coldly snorted. As soon as he finished speaking, his entire body suddenly rose to a height of 10 feet. Using the Atlas shape-shifting technique, his cultivation soared to the 3rd stage of the Saint stage. Su Chen's sudden transformation gave the Night Demon Elder a fright. However, he didn't retreat. Gritting his teeth, he raised a pitch-black iron rod and smashed it down towards Su Chen's head. "I'll start with you." A cold glint flashed through Su Chen's eyes. As the iron rod smashed towards him, he used the Drunken Dream from afar. All of a sudden, the Night Demon Elder seemed to have turned into stone. All of his movements stopped, and even the iron rod in the air stopped. Seizing the opportunity, Su Chen moved his feet and approached the Night Demon Clan Elder. Then, a powerful golden fist smashed out with a loud bang. No! The Night Demon Elder had just broken free from the illusion when he felt a strong gust of wind from the fist blow towards him. He only had time to let out an unwilling scream before his entire head and half of his body were smashed into pieces. Seeing this scene, the surroundings fell into a suffocating silence. Everyone looked at Su Chen with their mouths agape, their eyes filled with deep fear. The other saint-level powerhouses also stopped charging at this moment and looked at Su Chen with shock and confusion. Chapter 963. None of the people present had expected that the Night Demon Clan's 3rd stage saint level would be instantly killed by Su Chen without even being able to resist a single move. Just how strong was Su Chen after his transformation? Who could stop him? Thinking of Su Chen's reputation as the god of slaughter and his style of doing things, everyone was terrified. The saint-level experts were especially fearful. Especially those saint-level powerhouses, each and every one of them trembled with fear. Now that the Night Demon Clan's elder was dead, they would definitely be Su Chen's next target. Would they still have a chance to survive? On the other side, Su Chen's gaze drifted over to Su Mao and the God Race Man. Just now, these two had been the happiest. After killing the Night Demon Clan's elder, it was time to get rid of them. Su Chen, my God Race has a 5th stage saint-level expert. You can't kill me. Being swept by Su Chen's gaze, the God Race Man immediately felt a chill run down his spine. He knew that Su Chen wanted to kill him, so he hurriedly brought up the experts of his race to make Su Chen wary. You're just a 5th stage saint-level expert. If you dare to stop me, I'll kill you without hesitation. Su Chen smiled contemptuously and instantly released his spiritual power, sweeping it toward the God Race Man. Although this statement was a little arrogant, it was not boasting at all. Because he still had a lot of energy points, he could advance to the 3rd stage saint level at any time. If he used Atlas shape-shifting, he would reach the 4th stage saint level. Killing an enemy 1 stage higher was as easy as eating and drinking for him. With a scream, the God Race Man was crushed by Su Chen's spiritual power without any resistance. Seeing the 2 saint-level powerhouses being killed by Su Chen one after another, the surrounding cultivators could no longer bear the pressure and fled in all directions. Su Chen did not care about this. His main target was these saint-level experts. Then, his gaze fell on Su Mao and he mocked, "An ant like you wants to kill me? Do you have the ability?" Gulp. Su Mao swallowed a mouthful of saliva as his entire body began to tremble. He knew very well that Su Chen would not let him go. Then, he gritted his teeth and roared, "Everyone, let's fight it out with him." However, none of the saints in the surroundings responded. Some of them even started to retreat slowly. Seeing this, Su Mao's face turned pale, and his heart turned cold. You don't even have anyone to help you when you're about to die. How pathetic. Su Chen sneered. Then, he threw out a Pegasus meteor punch and blasted Su Mao into powder. The remaining saint-level powerhouses exchanged glances with each other before turning around and fleeing. However, there was a human saint-level expert who stood there without moving at all. Su Chen glanced at him and said coldly, "Wait for me here. If you dare to escape, I will kill you even if I have to go to the ends of the earth." "Yes." The human saint-level expert trembled and replied respectfully. Su Chen ignored him and used the rapid war boots to chase after the other saint-level experts. Since the other party fled in a scattered manner, Suchen simply summoned the golden puppet to help kill them. After the golden puppet combined with the other 2 saint-level puppets, its strength skyrocketed to stage 3 saint level. It was too easy for it to deal with some cultivators below stage 2 saint level. Half an hour later, all the fleeing saint-level experts were killed. Suchen collected the fragments and hurried back. That human saint-level expert stood there obediently and did not move at all. "Which force are you from? What's your name?" Suchen came to the human saint-level expert and asked coldly. Chapter 964. My name is Mu Xiangkai. I'm from the Mu clan of the Emerald Cloud Island. Mu Xiangkai did not dare to hide anything and told him the truth. The Mu clan of the Emerald Cloud Island. Suchen pondered for a moment before asking, "Old Mu, how many human sages are there left?" 14, Mu Xiangkai replied quickly. Originally, the number of human sages was more than that. However, after Suchen killed some of them, there were only 14 left. Suchen nodded slightly and continued, "How many sages are there left in the 4 major forces of the mysterious heavenly mainland?" The human sages were most likely instigated by the sages from the mysterious heavenly mainland to hunt him down. He would not let any of them go. As for the other human sages, he could spare their worthless lives. After all, if the human sages were all killed, chaos would ensue. As a member of the human race, he did not want to see that happen. The Assassin League, the Temple of the Wildlands, and the Sun Moon Star Palace have one each, Mu Xiangkai replied. "I'll give you a chance to live. You must listen carefully," Suchen said in a low voice. Mu Xiangkai's expression changed when he heard that there was a chance to live. He perked up his ears and listened carefully. "Go back and contact the other human sages. Kill the sages from the Assassin League and the Temple of the Wildlands. Also, escort Patriarch Warsky from the Sun Moon Star Palace to the Qi clan in the Void Fortress. If you do these 2 things well, you can all live," Suchen ordered. "Don't worry, I'll do it well." Mu Xiangkai nodded and promised. Killing the 2 sages from the Assassin League and the Temple of the Wildlands was not right. However, it was the only way to survive. Moreover, it was mainly the 2 sages who instigated them to go against Suchen. They only had themselves to blame for this. "You can leave now." Suchen waved his hand and dismissed him. "Thank you." Mu Xiangkai felt as if he had been pardoned and fled the place. After Mu Xiangkai disappeared from sight, Suchen opened the pet breeding space and talked to Flaming Phoenix. "Little Flame, is there any danger in the Void Battleground?" He was going to enter the Void Battleground later. Just in case, he wanted to learn more about the Void Battleground. Among all the pets, only the Flaming Phoenix had entered the Void Battleground. "Master, there are many dangers in the Void Battleground. There will also be Void Beasts. However, with Master's current strength, there shouldn't be any problems," the Flaming Phoenix said. After receiving Flaming Phoenix's reply, Suchen didn't think too much about it and walked towards the city gate. Originally, there were many guards in the city, but now, they were all gone. Suchen glanced around, found the entrance to the Void Battleground, and entered it in a flash. Once he entered the Void Battleground, Suchen's vision became blurry. There was a layer of gray mist floating around, and the range of vision was very limited. At most, it could only reach 100 meters. Moreover, Suchen could clearly feel that his cultivation had been suppressed to level 10. It was as if he had suddenly entered the continent. Suchen didn't care about this. Under the situation where they were all level 10, no one would be his opponent. Then, he flew in a certain direction. The main purpose of coming here was to awaken special abilities. There was only one way to awaken special abilities, and that was to fight non-stop. Only in battle could one awaken special abilities. At this moment, he was looking for void beasts. After running for about 10 miles, hundreds of moving figures suddenly appeared in front of him. Although he couldn't see their faces clearly, he was sure that they were void beasts. Because all the practitioners of the 10,000 clans were scared away, he was the only one who entered the void battleground. Chapter 965. When Suchen got closer, there were indeed hundreds of void beasts in front of him. "Ah, I've finally met a human. A level 10 void beast laughed out loud. They had been in the void battleground for a long time, but they had not found a single human. They were very excited to meet Su Chen here. At this moment, they surrounded Su Chen and stared at Su Chen covetously, treating Su Chen as prey. Human, where are the other members of your race? Tell me the truth and I'll spare you from physical pain. The level 10 void beast stared at Su Chen and asked coldly. You won't be coming. Su Chen rubbed his nose and replied faintly. Then, a mocking smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. You look like you want to eat me. I advise you not to have such thoughts. Otherwise, you'll die a horrible death. As soon as he said that, the surroundings fell silent for a moment. Then there was a roar of laughter. All the void beasts looked at Su Chen as if they were looking at an idiot. They really did not understand how Su Chen dared to be so arrogant. So what if Su Chen was a level 10 cultivator? There were hundreds of void beasts present, and there were a few level 10 ones. If they attacked together, they could tear Su Chen apart. Human, kneel in front of me and beg for my forgiveness. Otherwise, I'll make you beg for death. A level 10 void beast sneered. Su Chen's shameless boasting made him very unhappy. At this moment, he was secretly determined to torture Su Chen to death. Su Chen pursed his lips. Before the level 10 void beast could react, he released his mind power and pulled it to his side. Then he pressed on its shoulder and said coldly, Kneel. The level 10 void beast did not even have time to say a word before it felt an unparalleled force crushing it. It could not help but kneel at Su Chen's feet. Hiss! Witnessing this scene, the group of void beasts gasped one after another. In front of Su Chen, a level 10 void beast didn't even have the power to resist. Then how strong was Su Chen? Suddenly, a feeling of fear spread in their hearts. Su Chen's strength had completely exceeded their expectations, causing them to feel extremely pressured. Human, let him go. Otherwise, I'll grind your bones to dust. Another level 10 void beast roared at Su Chen. Although he was terrified of Su Chen's strength, when he thought of the many clansmen surrounding him, if they all swarmed together, they could still kill Su Chen, so he wasn't afraid anymore. As you wish. Su Chen smiled faintly as he reached out and crushed the heavenly void beast's head before tossing it away. Bang! When the headless body of the void beast hit the ground, the hearts of the surrounding void beasts trembled. But soon, it was overshadowed by anger. Let's attack together and kill him. Under the leadership of a level 10 void beast, all the void beasts attacked Su Chen. Su Chen glanced at them coldly and pulled out the enchanted divine saber. After channeling a thunder spell into it, he swung the saber horizontally. Terrifying lightning waves wreaked havoc, and in the blink of an eye, the group of void beasts were all killed. Su Chen finished collecting the fragments that had fallen out and stood on the spot, muttering to himself. This time, he had killed hundreds of void beasts, but they did not awaken any abilities. This made him a little unhappy. However, he recovered quickly. There were many void beasts in the void battlefield. Killing this batch did not awaken any abilities, but perhaps the next batch would. Chapter 966. Later, he opened his storage bag and contacted the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, is your detection function still effective here? No one knew how vast the void battlefield was. No matter how many void beasts entered, it would be difficult to find them if they were scattered. If the intelligent war chariot could search, they could quickly find traces of the void beasts and save a lot of time. Master, I can search, the intelligent war chariot replied affirmatively. Su Chen was delighted and ordered, Satoshi, search for the whereabouts of the void beasts. In the next few days, with the help of the intelligent war chariot, Su Chen killed thousands of void beasts and collected tens of thousands of fragments. However, his special ability could not be awakened. It seems that I can't awaken it. Su Chen sighed faintly. There was a certain probability of awakening a special ability, and the probability was very low. He had already killed more than 1,000 void beasts. If he could awaken it, he would have done so long ago. After pondering for a while, Su Chen opened the chaos space and pet raising space. He summoned everyone and all his spiritual pets. Since he could not awaken it, he would leave the opportunity to others. Su Chen, is this the void battlefield? Chen Feng and the others came to Su Chen's side and asked. As it was their first time entering the void battlefield, they were particularly excited. Su Chen nodded and reminded them, I'll take you to hunt void beasts later. You must seize the opportunity. You might be able to awaken a special ability. Chen Feng and the others knew the importance of awakening a special ability and expressed their understanding. After that, Su Chen led everyone to hunt void beasts. During this period, they killed more than 2,000 void beasts. Su Chen did not attack again and left all the opportunities to others. However, the probability of awakening a special ability was indeed very low. After killing so many void beasts, only 3 people could awaken a special ability. They were Tan Lin, Yang Qian, and Sherdaniu. Tan Lin awakened a healing ability that could heal herself and others. It was a supportive ability. Yang Qian awakened the ability to fly, which was similar to Su Chen's meteoric rise. It was a very good ability. What Sherdaniu had awakened was the ability to increase his strength, which could double his own strength. Although it could not be compared with Su Chen's heaven-reaching 100-fold vigorous force technique, the doubled strength was enough to crush those at the same level. Su Chen didn't plan on staying in the void battleground any longer after killing most of the void beasts, because there was still an auction waiting for them in Miguang City. After a while, he put everyone into the chaos space. Just as he was about to leave, the swift bird suddenly reminded him, Master, I feel a very powerful existence hiding around us. He seems to be observing us, but I can't pinpoint his location. Su Chen frowned slightly. In the void battleground, the strongest player was only level 10. How could a level 10 existence make the swift bird feel any danger? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and pondered for a moment. He then opened the storage bag and asked the intelligent chariot, Satoshi, search the vicinity and see if there are any strong people hiding. The intelligent chariot searched for a while and replied, Master, there are 3 saint-level void beasts coming this way. No matter how high the level of a saint-level void beast is, it can only exert the strength of level 10 here. Su Chen didn't care, but he had some doubts. Did these 3 saint-level void beasts make the swift bird feel danger? Xiao Sun, is the source of your danger these 3 saint-level void beasts? Chapter 967. No. The swift bird replied affirmatively and then explained, Master, the source of that danger is countless times stronger than the 3 saint-level void beasts, but it has disappeared now, and we can't sense the danger signal. It's not? Su Chen frowned slightly. At this time, there was no time to think too much, because the 3 saint-level void beasts had already arrived in front of him. Human, as a saint-level powerhouse, you broke the rules and entered the void battlefield. You even massacred our clansmen. You have to give us an explanation. A saint-level void beast sized up Su Chen and questioned coldly. Explanation? Su Chen pursed his lips. What kind of explanation do you want? Hand over everything you have, cripple your own cultivation, and come back with us to accept your punishment. The saint-level void beast said naturally. It looked as if it had completely defeated Su Chen. Are you void beasts all pigs? Su Chen mocked. To a cultivator, it was better to die than to cripple one's own cultivation. The void beast actually made such a request. There must be something wrong with its brain. Since you're not good for anything, then die. The saint-level void beast who spoke was instantly enraged. He picked up a huge hammer and smashed it down at Su Chen. You're overestimating yourself. Su Chen didn't stand on ceremony with him. He raised his hand and threw out the Integrated 5 Extremes Mountain. When the Integrated 5 Extremes Mountain transformed into a small mountain that was 100 feet tall, it pressed down on the saint-level void beast that was charging over. There was a loud bang. The saint-level void beast was smashed into the ground with his hammer and died on the spot. Seeing this scene, the remaining 2 saint-level void beasts were scared out of their wits, and their bodies trembled. It was only at this moment that they realized what kind of existence they were facing. Su Chen's strength could only be described as terrifying to be able to kill a saint-level void beast so easily. After the two saint-level void beasts looked at each other, they turned around and fled. Su Chen originally wanted to chase after them, but suddenly a strange voice sounded in his mind. This sound was exactly the same as when he was picking up the shards. Awakened the special skill, Instant Illusion. Using this skill, the doppelganger will be able to cover a distance of 100 meters in a single step. Furthermore, the doppelganger will remain invisible as long as it does not attack. I awakened a special ability? Su Chen was pleasantly surprised. At first, he thought that it was impossible for him to awaken the skill. He didn't expect to awaken the skill after killing a saint-level void beast. It was really a pleasant surprise. Instant Illusion was of little value to others because it was only effective on clones. This was because there were too few cultivators who had clones. It could be said that they could be counted on one's fingers. And Su Chen just so happened to have a clone. Strictly speaking, his second primordial spirit was a clone. Looking at the two fleeing holy-level void beasts in the distance, Su Chen's mouth suddenly curved into a strange arc. Then, a white light flashed on his body, and an identical Su Chen appeared. It was the second primordial spirit. As soon as the second primordial spirit appeared, it disappeared without a trace. After a few breaths, there were two screams in the distance. It was the two saint-level void beasts that had been killed by the second primordial spirit. Seeing this, the corners of Su Chen's mouth curled up slightly. After awakening a new skill, he naturally had to verify it. The Instant Mirage ability didn't disappoint him. After a while, he put away the second primordial spirit and flew straight to the entrance. This time, he entered the void battlefield and not only obtained a large number of shards, but he also awakened a special ability. It could be said that he was very satisfied. As for the source of the danger nearby, because he couldn't find its specific location, he didn't delve into it. Chapter 968. One day later, Su Chen came to the entrance of the passage that he had entered before. However, when he arrived, he was surprised to find that the entrance of the passage had disappeared. There was only one possibility for this to happen, and that was that the entrance of the void battleground had been destroyed by someone. The person who could do this was either a sage-level existence of the myriad clans or Heaven Loose Taoist. Or, the possibility of them working together was very high. Su Chen pondered for a moment and contacted the intelligent war vehicle. Satoshi, can we travel out of here? Master, the boundary here is too stable. Unless we advance to a higher level, we can't travel through it, the intelligent war vehicle quickly replied. Hearing this, Su Chen's brows furrowed deeply. The intelligent war vehicle was now in the 12th level, which was equivalent to the first stage of the sage level for cultivators. However, if he wanted to advance to the 13th level, he would need a large number of mechanical hearts. However, he only had 4 left. The difference in numbers was too great. In this way, he would not be able to leave here. I was careless. Su Chen sighed. The other party had destroyed the entrance for a clear purpose, which was to trap him in the void battleground. Before entering the void battleground, he had not considered this point. He was indeed careless. However, the void battleground was related to whether he could awaken special abilities. He did not believe that he would be trapped there forever. However, this period would definitely be very long. It might even be hundreds of years. After such a long time, Heaven Loose Taoist might have advanced to the divine state. He did not want to wait forever. He had to find a way out. Su Chen thought for a moment and opened the pet breeding space to communicate with the Flaming Phoenix. Flaming Phoenix, the passage of the void battleground has been destroyed. Is there a way out of here? The Flaming Phoenix was stunned. It shook its head and said, Master, once the passage of the void battleground is closed, there is no way out. Those who entered the void battleground before couldn't get out in time before the passage was closed. None of them could leave here? Su Chen asked tentatively. Master, the void battleground only opens once every 100 years. Not only did none of those who were trapped here manage to escape, they all disappeared without a trace, the blazing flame phoenix replied. Disappeared? Suchen muttered to himself. Disappearing here was the same as dying. But after roaming around the void battleground for a few days, he found that although this place was barren, there was always food and water. Anyone who could enter the void battleground was a powerhouse of the same level. How could they die? Could he have been killed? This thought suddenly flashed through Suchen's mind. Previously, Swift Bird had said that there was a very powerful existence hidden here. It was very likely that this guy was the culprit. But why didn't this guy show himself? While Suchen was pondering, the flaming phoenix reminded him, "Master, the portal to the myriad races has been closed. We can go to the void beast and take a look." Suchen had already thought of this. He shook his head and said, "The other party isn't a fool. Since they want to trap me, they must have contacted the void beast. The passageway over there must have been closed." The flaming phoenix nodded and didn't say anything else. But at this time, the swift bird suddenly reminded him, "Master, that powerful existence has appeared again and is flying towards us." Suchen's eyelids twitched. He quickly put the flaming phoenix and the swift bird into the tapet-raising space. Then he leaped and flew into the air. Just as he was about to leave the ground, a gigantic mouth suddenly appeared beneath his feet. If Suchen hadn't reacted quickly, he would have been swallowed. Chapter 969. Level 5 of the Saint Stage. Suchen was shocked when he felt the terrifying aura from the big mouth under his feet. He had met Wei Yang, who was at level 4 of the Saint Stage. Wei Yang's aura was definitely not as strong as the giant mouth. Therefore, he was sure that the one who attacked him must be a level 5 of the Saint Stage. But what he couldn't figure out was that the void battleground could suppress cultivation. How could the other party reach level 5 of the Saint Stage? All of a sudden, Suchen found that the power of the domain that suppressed him disappeared. His cultivation returned to level 2 of the Saint Stage. Suchen heaved a sigh of relief when his cultivation was no longer suppressed. He shouted coldly, "Who is hiding down there? Come out!" Crack, crack, crack. Along with the sound of the ground breaking, a small demonic beast the size of a palm with a layer of 5-colored flowing light wrapped around its body emerged from the ground. So small? Suchen was surprised. This small demonic beast had the same aura as the giant mouth just now. This meant that this demonic beast was at level 5 of the Saint Stage. However, for such a small body to be able to open such a big mouth, it was indeed somewhat inconceivable. The demonic beast looked at Suchen and chuckled, "Human, you are much more powerful than I thought." Its voice sounded a little childish. It gave Suchen the feeling that it was a young demonic beast. "Little thing, it was you who attacked me just now, wasn't it? You'd better give me a reasonable explanation. Otherwise, I won't go easy on you." Suchen narrowed his eyes and asked coldly. If he hadn't reacted fast enough, he might have been killed. Hearing this, the small demonic beast was stunned. It couldn't figure out why Suchen dared to threaten it, a level 5 of the Saint Stage, when he was only at level 2 of the Saint Stage. Was he scared out of his wits? "Human, do you know the consequences of angering me? Aren't you afraid that I will kill you?" The small demonic beast tilted its head and looked at Suchen with interest. "You want to kill me?" Suchen sneered and directly used the Atlas shape-shifting technique. After his cultivation soared to stage 3 saint rank, he spent another 50,000 energy points to exchange for a level 14 all attributes fragment. He once again raised his cultivation to the 4th stage of the Saint Realm. Originally, in order to guard against Heaven's Scattering Taoist, he did not want to advance his cultivation so quickly. Because Wu Tsang once said that if Heaven's Scattering Taoist sent someone to kill him, he could only send someone who was 2 levels higher than him. Therefore, even if it was just 1 or 2 levels higher, it wouldn't mean much. Moreover, the speed of his improvement was too fast, which made Heaven's Scattering Taoist even more fearful. If things didn't go well, Wu Tsang would tear off all pretenses of cordiality and personally deal with him. However, the unknown demonic beast in front of him was at the 5th stage of the saint rank. It posed a great threat to him, so he could only choose to raise his level to deal with it. "Human, how did you do it?" Seeing Su Chen rise by 2 levels in an instant, the little demonic beast was stunned. Do I need to explain to you how I did it? Su Chen snorted and was about to make a move. The small demonic beast suddenly shouted, "Human, don't do it. I surrender." Although it was a holy beast at level 5 of the Saint stage, it was not good at fighting. It had already noticed Su Chen's powerful combat strength. If Su Chen was only at level 2 of the Saint stage, it was absolutely sure that it could defeat Su Chen. However, now that Su Chen had advanced to level 4 of the Saint stage, even 2 of it together would not be a match for him. Instead of being abused by Su Chen, it was better to surrender. Moreover, it was absolutely sure that Su Chen would not be willing to kill it. Chapter 970. Surrendered? Su Chen was stunned. A demonic beast in the 5th stage of the Saint rank surrendered without even daring to attack? Wasn't this too cowardly? It's not impossible for me to let you go, but you have to be my spiritual pet and have a certain level of ability. Su Chen stared at the demonic beast and said coldly. Although the demonic beast was in the 5th stage of the Saint rank, if it didn't have a certain level of ability, he wouldn't take it seriously. It would be better to kill it and pick up its fragments. The demonic beast was stunned. It couldn't understand why Su Chen wouldn't take it seriously when a demonic beast in the 5th stage of the Saint rank surrendered on its own accord. However, under Su Chen's gaze, it didn't say anything extreme. Instead, it said in a negotiating tone, "I don't like restrictions, so I can't be your spiritual pet. But I can cooperate with you." Cooperation? Su Chen sneered. The demonic beast obviously didn't understand the current situation. It even dared to talk about conditions with him. If he didn't teach it a lesson, it wouldn't know why the flowers were so red. Su Chen gradually narrowed his eyes, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Sensing the hostility in Su Chen's eyes, the demonic beast was startled. It quickly said, "Wait a minute, listen to me first." "Say it." Su Chen snorted. If the demonic beast didn't give him a satisfactory answer and was teasing him, he would punish it. "I can help you awaken special abilities," the demonic beast said directly. What? Su Chen was shocked. He said involuntarily, "The special abilities of the people who entered the Void Battleground are all related to you?" If the demonic beast really had such an ability, it would definitely be a treasure. Su Chen couldn't stay calm anymore. The demonic beast nodded and said affirmatively, "Those who awakened special abilities, including you, were all given by me randomly." Su Chen took a deep breath and asked, "How did you do it?" This was a serious matter. He had to figure it out. He absolutely could not be fooled by this little demonic beast. "Because I am an awakened divine beast." The awakened divine beast's ability is to help others awaken special abilities, the little beast explained. Awakening a mythical beast? This was the first time Su Chen had heard of this. He muttered to himself for a moment before he asked doubtfully, "So you're a divine beast?" Compared to a cultivator, a divine beast was like a deity realm expert. However, this little demonic beast was only at the 5th stage of the Saint rank. How could it have the demeanor of a divine beast? "I used to be a divine beast. However, I was severely injured in the last Void War and my cultivation base fell. Thus, I have been hiding in the Void battlefield," the awakened divine beast said. Su Chen didn't know whether the other party was telling the truth or not. He quietly opened the pet breeding space and contacted Flaming Phoenix. "Little Flame, have you ever heard of an awakened mythical beast?" The Flaming Phoenix thought for a moment before replying, "Master, there are some rumors about awakened mythological beasts in our holy devil tribe." Su Chen focused and didn't interrupt Flaming Phoenix. Rumor has it that although an awakened mythical beast's cultivation base has reached the deity realm, it is not good at fighting and its strength is very weak. Its biggest characteristic is that it can help others awaken special abilities. This is somewhat similar to the Void battlefield, the Flaming Phoenix continued. Hearing this, Su Chen suddenly moved. According to what Flaming Phoenix said, this little demonic beast in front of him was basically an awakened mythical beast. In order to be more certain, Su Chen asked again, "Little Flame, when did the Void battlefield appear?" The little demonic beast said that it entered the void battlefield because it was injured in the void war 10,000 years ago. If the two matched, it would prove that the little demonic beast was indeed an awakened mythical beast. Chapter 971. About 10,000 years ago, the flaming phoenix replied. Suchin nodded and then closed the pet feeding space. Then, he looked at the awakened mythical beast and said lightly, I've confirmed your identity. You didn't lie. However, I still say the same thing. If you want to live, you have to become my spiritual pet. After all, the awakened mythical beast was a stage 5 sacred level. No matter how weak its combat power was, it was still a great threat. He would not keep such an unstable factor by his side. Of course, after knowing the ability of the awakened mythical beast, he was determined to get it. The reason why he was so thorough was to use peaceful means before resorting to force. If the awakened mythical beast knew what was good for it, everything would be fine. If he didn't know what was good for him, he would use his methods to force him. In short, the awakened mythical beast had no choice. Human, don't go too far. I'm a mythical beast. Seeing that Su Chen had been threatening it, the awakened mythical beast said angrily. You don't know what's good for you. Su Chen snorted and instantly released his mind power to crush the awakened mythical beast. Human, you're despicable. The awakened mythical beast struggled hard, but it could not break free from Su Chen's mind power. What he saw was that Su Chen had already rushed in front of him like a killing god. The awakened mythical beast was scared out of its wits and shouted, Don't do it, we can talk about it. Su Chen ignored it and stretched out a big hand, holding the awakened mythical beast in the palm of his hand. He said coldly, I'll give you one last chance. If you don't agree, I'll crush you. The awakened mythical beast trembled like a deflated balloon and said in a trembling voice, I agree. Under Su Chen's strong pressure, it finally compromised. Even if it was very unwilling in its heart, there was nothing it could do. Su Chen was overjoyed, but he held back his laughter. Then, he quickly took out 5 bottles of pet potion and ordered the awakened mythical beast to swallow them. The awakened mythical beast's level was too high. Su Chen was afraid that the pet potion would not work, so he took out 5 bottles at once. Looking at the 5 bottles of unknown potions, the awakened mythical beast was a little reluctant. However, after Su Chen's cold gaze swept over them, they still obediently swallowed them all. Master! Soon, the awakened mythological beast's eyes became docile, and it became much more intimate with Su Chen. Seeing this, Su Chen's lips curled up slightly. Then, he loosened his grip on the awakened divine beast and put away the Atlas shape-shifting technique. The awakened mythological beast had already been tamed, so there was no need to guard against it. Little Xing, how do you help others awaken their abilities? Su Chen asked. This was very important. If he could figure it out, he could help the people around him awaken special abilities. Master, I've absorbed some energy, and it's possible for me to generate an ability that I can give to others at random. The awakened mythical beast said honestly. Absorbing energy? Su Chen pondered for a moment before probing. Is it absorbing the energy left behind by the dead cultivators? Tan Lin and the other two, including him, had obtained special abilities after killing the void beast. After some cultivators died, some of their energy would be left behind. Therefore, he had his suspicions. It's possible to absorb the remaining energy of the cultivators or absorb the life spirit liquid, the awakened mythical beast explained. Su Chen's eyes suddenly lit up. He had the spring of life in his hands, so he could continuously convert it into life spirit liquid. If he gave it to the awakened mythical beast to swallow, wouldn't he be able to obtain many special abilities? Chapter 972. Shao Xing, you can randomly give special abilities to others. Does it have to be within a certain range? Su Chen asked. Yes. The awakened mythical beast answered affirmatively. Su Chen nodded slightly. In this way, as long as the awakened mythical beast was placed in the pet-raising space, or chaos space, and fed it the life spirit liquid, it could continuously produce special abilities. Everyone would benefit from it and obtain special abilities. Master, although I can continuously produce special abilities, each person can only obtain one at most, the awakened mythical beast reminded. Only one time, Su Chen pondered. Originally, he wanted to take the opportunity to awaken a few more special abilities. Now, it seemed that this hope was shattered. However, he was not too disappointed. After all, the instant phantom that he awakened was enough to satisfy him. Master, if I can advance to the God realm, I can derive a great theurgy and give this great theurgy to a designated person, the awakened mythical beast said again. Great theurgy? Su Chen was a little moved. The lethality of a theurgy was often destructive. Although he had many means, only the 10,000 lights 10 shadows killing technique and the fusion of ice and fire magic could be considered a great theurgy at most. Compared to a great theurgy, there was still a big gap. As for the 10,000 swords in one, it could be considered a great theurgy. However, it could only be called a great theurgy when it was cultivated to the third stage. At this stage, the 100 swords in one was only a great theurgy. Shao Xing, how can you quickly advance to a mythical beast? Su Chen asked. A great theurgy was very attractive to him. Absorbing enough energy can only allow me to advance slowly. This will take a long time. If you want to advance quickly, there is a shortcut, but it is too difficult and almost impossible, the awakened mythical beast said slowly. Tell me. Su Chen asked. If there was a shortcut, of course, he would choose it. Devour the corpse of a mythical beast, the awakened mythical beast said directly. Since the Great War 10,000 years ago, almost all the God Realm powerhouses had fallen. Even if there were still mythical beasts in the world, their numbers would be pitifully small. Furthermore, divine beasts were extremely powerful. How could he kill and devour them? Therefore, in the eyes of the awakened divine beast, this shortcut was a waste of time. The corpse of a divine beast? Su Chen's mind slowly turned. Suddenly, he thought of the heavenly altar Huanyu. When he was in the zombie country, the level 3 Saint level zombie had told him that there was a seriously injured divine beast in the Temple of Heaven. If he wanted the awakened mythical beast to reach the divine realm quickly, he would have to make a trip to the heavenly altar Huanyu. However, the Temple of Heaven was a dangerous place after all. Even if they wanted to enter, they had to be fully prepared. Moreover, he still had a lot of things to do. He had to deal with them first before he could go to the heaven altar Huanyu. Gathering his thoughts, Su Chen asked, Shao Xing, is there any way to leave this place? Now that the awakened mythological beast had been subdued, the top priority was to leave this place as soon as possible. I know a relatively weak spot, but I need a powerful attack to break it, the awakened mythical beast thought for a moment and replied. Let's go to the place you said now, Su Chen urged. What he didn't lack the most was powerful attack. The power of the combination of the ice and fire magic cube and the 100 swords in one was enough to destroy everything. Yes. The awakened mythical beast didn't hesitate and led Su Chen straight in a direction. Chapter 973. One day later, Su Chen and the awakened divine beast came to a mountain stream. It was dark below and they didn't know where it led to. Master, the weakest part of this world is at the bottom of this mountain stream, the awakened divine beast reminded. Go down. Su Chen glanced at the mountain stream and flew down with the awakened divine beast. When they were about to touch the ground, they stopped. Shao Xing, is it okay to attack the ground below? Su Chen asked. Yes. The awakened divine beast affirmed and said, Master, you must use your strongest attack so that you can break it in one blow. In its view, although Su Chen's combat power was strong, it was really hard to say whether he could shatter the domain here. Su Chen nodded and signaled the awakened divine beast to step back. Then, he took a deep breath and summoned all 100 thunder sacred swords. Ever since he cultivated 100 swords into one, he hadn't had a chance to use it. Now, it was a good time to test its power. 100 sacred swords. Looking at the lightning in the sky and feeling the terrifying energy fluctuations from the sacred swords, the awakened divine beast was completely stunned. He had guessed that Su Chen should have many trump cards, But he never thought that he would have such a powerful trump card. There were a total of 100 saint swords, and their combined might was enough to destroy the heavens and earth. However, was there really anyone in the world who could control 100 sacred swords? The awakened divine beast stopped breathing and looked at Su Chen with his eyes wide open. He wanted to see if Su Chen could really do it. Su Chen's expression was solemn as he reached out and pointed down. The 100 lightning-type sacred swords that were dancing above his head charged down together. Furthermore, as they flew, they continued to fuse together. When they came into contact with the ground, they turned into a gigantic longsword that was over 100 feet in length and covered with lightning. Oh my God! They actually merged together. The awakened divine beast opened his mouth wide and was shocked beyond words. He even thought that if the sword slashed down on it, it would directly turn into ashes. Boom! In the next moment, the giant lightning sword slammed into the ground, creating an earth-shattering boom. The entire void battleground seemed to tremble. As countless pieces of rubble flew in all directions, a 10-meter-wide hole appeared beneath the lightning sword. Outside the cave was a vast and boundless starry sky. He really did it. The awakened mythical beast clicked its tongue and quickly reminded Su Chen, "Master, we have to leave this place as soon as possible." Although there was a hole in the ground, the hole was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It wouldn't take long for the hole to fully recover. He had to leave as soon as possible. Go. Su Chen also noticed this. He put away the 100 holy swords and flew straight toward the cave entrance. The awakened mythological beast followed closely behind Su Chen. When the man and the beast came out of the void battleground, they saw that the hole had disappeared. Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief and narrowed his eyes. Then, he kept the awakened mythological beast in the pet breeding space and took out the intelligent war chariot. He ordered, "Satoshi, go to the city that we entered earlier." He wanted to see who destroyed the passageway and wanted to trap him in the void battleground. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and flew quickly in a direction. In less than an hour, they had arrived in front of the city. However, the city had already been reduced to a pile of rubble. Beside the ruins, there were 5 people of the mutated tribe chatting and laughing. These 5 people of the mutated tribe were all at the sage level. Chapter 974. Su Chen could guess that the 5 of them were the ones who had destroyed the passageway. Then, he quietly walked towards the 5 of them. Although the 5 of them were chatting enthusiastically, they were saint-level experts after all and soon sensed that someone was approaching them. "Who are you?" One of the saint-level experts of the undead race stared at Su Chen and questioned him coldly. Since it was the first time that he had seen Su Chen, he was not sure of Su Chen's identity. Su Chen. However, at this moment, one of the saint-level experts of the god race next to him roared in shock. When the other 4 heard Su Chen's name, their faces turned extremely sullen and their bodies trembled slightly. "How did you get out of the void battle?" A saint-level expert of the night demon race stared at Su Chen in disbelief. He really couldn't figure out how Su Chen had gotten out of the void battle when the 2 passageways to enter and exit the void battle had been destroyed. "It seems that the 5 of you are the ones who want to harm me. Do you know what happens to those who harm me?" Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the 5 of them one by one as he said coldly. Hearing this, the 5 of them took a step back in unison. They were naturally well aware of Su Chen's style of doing things. Almost everyone who offended him was killed. They knew that they had formed a feud with Su Chen, and if they wanted to live, the only way was to kill Su Chen. The 5 of them looked at each other and tacitly attacked Su Chen at the same time. "You guys don't know what's good for you." Su Chen sneered and stood still on the spot, as if he didn't take the 5 saint-level experts seriously at all. Judging from the aura emitted by the 5 of them, the one with the highest cultivation level was the saint-level expert of the god race who had reached the 3rd stage of the saint level. The other 4 were all at the 2nd stage of the saint level. He had now advanced to the 3rd stage of the saint level, and because of the ancient god-fiend body, even if he stood still, the other party wouldn't be able to cause any harm to him unless they had a particularly powerful attack. Therefore, the 5 saint-level experts were actually no different from ants in his eyes. Go to hell! The saint-level expert of the night demon race rushed at the front and smashed down on Su Chen with a bronze hammer in his hand. The bronze hammer seemed ordinary, but it was actually a saint-level artifact. Its biggest feature was that it was heavy enough to weigh up to 30,000 kilograms. Once it hit its target, he was confident that he could kill Su Chen with one blow. The divine race saints also released their spirit power, trying to restrain Su Chen and create an opportunity for the night demon saints. The saint-level experts of the saint-level experts of the saint-level experts were attacking Su Chen's faced saint-level expert God. The saint-level experts of the saint-level experts God saint-levels. Just as the saint-level hammer of the night demon race was about to smash down, a shrill scream suddenly came from behind. The one who screamed was none other than the saint-level expert of the God race. The other 4 saint-level experts of the saint-level experts of the night demon race were shocked and stopped attacking Su Chen. They all turned around and looked back. In their sight, another Su Chen was strangling the saint-level expert of the God race. But wasn't Su Chen right in front of them? Why was there another Su Chen? Faced with this strange scene, the 4 saint-level experts of the night demon race felt a chill down their spines and became even more terrified. They still felt a little confident to deal with one Su Chen. Faced with 2 Su Chen, they could only run for their lives. Are you very surprised? Su Chen smiled faintly. Just now, he had summoned his second primordial spirit and used the instant phantom to let his second primordial spirit sneak in front of the saint-level expert of the God race and capture him. Chapter 975. There was a crisp crack. As soon as Su Chen finished speaking, his second primordial spirit broke the God race's neck. Then he charged back. Fight him to the death. Although the night demon saint was terrified to the extreme, he still gritted his teeth and roared, continuing to smash down on Su Chen with his bronze hammer. Su Chen smiled disdainfully. Then he stretched out his hand and grabbed the bronze hammer. Seeing this, the night demon saint was overjoyed and roared, "Go to hell!" The divine weapon weighed 30,000 kilograms. Su Chen dared to use his physical body to block it, which was tantamount to throwing an egg at a rock. In his mind, there was even the scene of Su Chen being smashed into meat paste by the hammer. However, the scene that unfolded in the next moment almost caused his jaw to drop. Not only did Su Chen easily block the attack of the Saint Artifact Copper Hammer, but he also snatched the Saint Artifact away. Just how powerful is he? The Night Demon Saint was completely stunned by Su Chen. But at this moment, Su Chen used Drunken Life. After enveloping the Night Demon Clan man, he smashed his head with one punch. Bang! With a loud explosion, the Night Demon Saint's headless body fell to the ground. He's too powerful. Witnessing this scene, the remaining 3 sages were scared out of their wits. From Su Chen's attack to the Night Demon Saint being killed, only a few breaths had passed. Su Chen's powerful strength was fully displayed. Moreover, they could clearly sense that the 2 Su Chen's auras were the same. They were both at level 3 of the Saint level. This made them even more terrified. They couldn't even defeat Su Chen, who was at level 2 of the Saint level, let alone level 3 of the Saint level. Moreover, there were 2 Su Chens. After the Night Demon Saints were killed, the remaining 3 saints fled in panic. However, how could they escape from Su Chen's grasp? In less than a minute, Su Chen and his second primordial spirit had killed all 3 of them. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen took back his second primordial spirit and took out the intelligent war chariot. After getting on the car, he immediately ordered the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, go to Maguang City." There was going to be an auction in Maguang City in the near future, and it was likely that there would be a spirit-gathering stone there. He didn't want to miss this opportunity. 2 days later, the intelligent war chariot came close to Maguang City. Just like the last time, a large number of non-human beings had gathered outside the city. Su Chen put away the intelligent war chariot and walked straight to the city gate. There were too many people who wanted to enter Maguang City, and if they kept queuing up, who knows how long they would have to wait. With his status, it wouldn't be a problem for him to cut the queue and enter the city. Su Chen arrived at the city gate. Just as he was about to enter, he suddenly discovered a huge sign erected on the side. On it were clearly written the words "Human race is forbidden to enter." Su Chen was taken aback for a moment, and then flames of anger rose all over his body. The last time he came, because of the discrimination of the fire demon race against the human race, he killed a saint of the fire demon race on the spot. Originally, he thought that the fire demon race would never dare to do such a thing again. Who would have thought that the fire demon race would go from bad to worse, and even set up a sign? This was clearly challenging his bottom line. Boom! Su Chen punched out, smashing the sign into pieces, and then strode towards the city gate. If the fire demon race didn't give a satisfactory explanation this time, he didn't mind completely eradicating Miguang City. Chapter 976. This sudden loud noise immediately attracted the attention of the people around. When they saw a young human shattering the wooden sign with one punch, they were all very surprised. Indeed, the words written on the wooden sign discriminated against the human race. But the human race was weak. The fire demon race had many powerhouses and had a place in the void. Even if they bullied you, you still have to accept it. Su Chen's act of directly smashing the sign, in the eyes of the other races, was an act of courting death. He would soon be beheaded by the fire demon race on the spot. However, when Su Chen made a mess in Miguang City last time, there were some other races present. When they saw Su Chen's appearance, they suddenly exclaimed, "He is Su Chen of the human race." What? He is the killing god Su Chen? The other races around were all shocked. Su Chen hasn't been in the void for a long time, but his reputation has long spread in the void. In addition, in recent days, he had killed many saint ranks in the void. His reputation was even more well known. After learning the true identity of Su Chen, the people outside Miguang City kept quiet out of fear. All of the outsiders looked at Su Chen with reverence in their eyes. They were now looking forward to how the fire demon race would deal with Su Chen. "Tell Huaqin to come out and see me." Walking to the city gate, Su Chen glanced coldly at a guard and said in an unquestionable tone, "Yes." Under the gaze of Su Chen, the guard of the fire demon race was drenched in cold sweat and turned around to run into the city. Not long after, several people of the fire demon race came out of the city. The one in the lead was a middle-aged man with an afro hairstyle and a strong body like a small mountain. Huaqin, who had dealt with Su Chen last time, was following the middle-aged man. "Su Chen, we spared your life last time, and this time you dare to come to Miguang City to find trouble. Do you really think that our fire demon race won't kill you?" When the fire demon clan people came to the city gate, Huaqin yelled at Su Chen arrogantly, "I'll kill you first." Su Chen snorted coldly, then turned to the middle-aged man from the fire goblin race and said in a low voice, "You are the city lord of Miguang City, Huahuan, right?" Last time, Huaqin was like a pug in front of him, not even daring to breathe loudly. This time, he was extremely arrogant. It was obvious that he had found a backer. And this backer was Miguang City's city lord, Huahuan, a 4th-level Saint Realm mage and evolver, a super powerhouse. "That's right, I'm Huahuan." Huahuan narrowed his eyes and coldly said, "Su Chen, the last time I wasn't around, you acted recklessly in Miguang City and even killed a sacred stage powerhouse of my clan. You must give me an explanation today." "Give you an explanation?" Su Chen sneered. He hadn't asked Miguang City to give him an explanation yet, but the other party was already questioning him. This was something he didn't expect. It could be seen that Huahuan was a very arrogant person and obviously didn't put him in his eyes. Su Chen curled his lips and said lightly, "I, Su Chen, have always acted without scruples. You want me to give you an explanation? Are you worthy?" As soon as this remark came out, there was a lot of discussion in the surroundings. After all, Huahuan was a 4th-level Saint Realm with dual professions. He had been in the void for many years. No matter who saw him, they had to give him some face. But Su Chen wantonly humiliated him in front of so many people. It could be seen that Su Chen didn't put Huahuan in his eyes. Su Chen and Hua Huan were both powerhouses among powerhouses. The former had the name of Killing God. Since his debut, he had killed countless powerhouses and no one could suppress him. The latter was a veteran powerhouse in the void, a fourth-level Saint Realm with dual professions. When the two of them collided, who would be stronger? Everyone at the scene was looking forward to it. Chapter 977. Creak. Hua Huan gritted his teeth and glared at Su Chen fiercely. He said coldly, "Su Chen, no one can suppress you in the mainland. However, in the void, you can't do whatever you want." Although Su Chen was infamous, he was only a stage 2 martial sage. He was confident that he could kill Su Chen if he went all out. "So what if I do? What can you do about it?" Su Chen sneered. Did Hua Huan think that he could act tough in front of him just because he was a stage 4 martial sage with 2 professions? What a joke. "Since you want to die, I'll grant you your wish." Hua Huan's face was cold. Suddenly, a flaming saber appeared in his hand and he pointed it at Su Chen. A top-grade sacred weapon. Flaming saber. Fire Castellan is serious. Everyone get out of the way. The moment Hua Huan pulled out his saber, the surrounding foreign tribesmen were terrified and retreated. In the blink of an eye, they had retreated a few miles. Su Chen glanced at the flaming saber and raised his eyebrows. He could feel that the flaming saber was emitting a strong fire magical power. The ability to infuse magical power into the saber was very different from the enchanted saber. Since Hua Huan had used his saber, Su Chen took out the enchanted saber as well. "You want to compete with me in saber skills?" Hua Huan was stunned for a moment before he sneered, "You will pay for your arrogance." As soon as he finished speaking, he held the sword high above his head with both hands, then aimed at Su Chen and slashed down. In the next moment, a thick fire dragon opened its mouth and pounced at Su Chen. Everywhere it passed, the temperature rose as if it was burning the air. "Su Chen, you can die now." Seeing Hua Huan use her killer move, a cold smile appeared on Hua Qin's face. It was as if he was treating Su Chen as a dead man. What a terrifying fire sorcery. Seeing this scene, the outsiders in the distance cried out in alarm. They all stared at Su Chen with wide eyes. They all wanted to know how Su Chen was going to break this terrifying fire-type spell technique. Su Chen's expression was calm, without the slightest hint of panic on his face. Just as the fire dragon flew over, the enchanted divine saber quickly slashed out. Immediately after, a blue torrent with terrifying energy surged forward and collided heavily with the fire dragon. After a brief stalemate, the fire dragon's huge body was torn apart by the blue torrent. Following that, it charged toward Hua Huan. "How is this possible?" Hua Huan cried out involuntarily. He really couldn't figure out how his strongest killing move could be so easily broken by Su Chen and still have the strength to continue attacking him. Could it be that Su Chen was so strong that no one could defeat him? Hua Huan didn't have time to think. When the blue torrent shot over, he took out a shield and blocked in front of him. Rumble! The blue torrent hit the shield and made a loud sound. Under the huge impact, Hua Huan took a few steps back before he could stabilize himself. Although he wasn't hurt, his expression was extremely ugly. In the case of using his trump card, not only was he unable to do anything to Su Chen, but he was also defeated several steps back. His face was covered in dirt, and he had lost all his face. Su Chen is indeed the god of killing. He's too strong. At the same time, there was a heated discussion in the surroundings. They all saw clearly that Hua Huan was suppressed by Su Chen's casual attack even though he had used all his strength. It was obvious that Su Chen's true strength was definitely above Hua Huan's. Chapter 978. Why is he so strong? Hua Qin's face turned pale when he saw that Hua Huan was no match for Su Chen. He could not help but feel uneasy. Su Chen had said that he would kill him. If Hua Huan could not withstand it, wouldn't he really be dead? Hua Huan came back to his senses and looked at Su Chen in a daze. He said in a muffled voice, "You've advanced to stage 3 sage stage." Huaqin had previously assured him that Su Chen was only a stage 2 sage cultivator. He had only dared to attack Su Chen after knowing this. If he had known that Su Chen was a stage 3 sage cultivator, he would not have foolishly provoked Su Chen. It was too late for regrets now. Governor, he was indeed only a stage 2 sage cultivator. Huaqin explained with a bitter expression. Shut up. Huan shouted coldly. He wanted nothing more than to slap Huaqin to death. Huan suppressed the anger in his heart and said to Su Chen, you are indeed very strong. However, it will not be easy for you to defeat me. Why don't you stop now? Since he could not defeat Su Chen, he would only be asking for trouble if he continued to fight. Therefore, he wanted to reconcile with Su Chen. However, as a famous expert, he still had to consider his reputation. Even if he admitted defeat, his tone was still arrogant. Su Chen looked at Huan as if he was looking at an idiot. Then, he said indifferently, you can stop if you want, but you have to agree to one of my conditions. Speak. Huan's heart skipped a beat. As long as Su Chen's conditions were not too excessive, he would agree without hesitation. Kneel down and kowtow to me 300 times, then become my slave. Then I will spare your worthless life. The corners of Su Chen's mouth curled up in a mocking smile as he spoke slowly. He would not let Huan go. This fellow had discriminated against the human race and then attacked him. Regardless of which crime he committed, it was a capital offense that could not be forgiven. As soon as he said that, the surrounding outsiders all looked at Huan. Su Chen was clearly humiliating Huan. This request was even harder to accept than killing Huan. In that case, would Huan compromise or retaliate? Su Chen, you've gone too far. Do you really want to fight to the death with me? Huan roared with a sinister expression. As for Su Chen's humiliating request, he would never accept it. You want to fight me to the death? Su Chen smiled disdainfully. With a move of his foot, he disappeared from where he was like a ghost. When he reappeared, he was right in front of Huaqin. Previously, he had said that the first person he wanted to kill was Huaqin. Huaqin didn't expect Su Chen to attack him. He was so scared that his face turned green and he retreated with all his might. However, Su Chen had already released his spiritual power and firmly bound him in place, unable to move. Huaqin was terrified as he watched Su Chen choke him. Su Chen, if you dare to kill him, don't even think about leaving this place alive. Huan threatened angrily. Huaqin was a stage 3 sacred rank expert. Once he was killed, it would be a huge loss to the fire demon tribe. Su Chen broke Huaqin's neck without hesitation. Then he looked at Huan and said mockingly, I won't leave until I've killed all of you from the fire demon tribe. Under Su Chen's gaze, Huan shuddered and unconsciously retreated. Su Chen kept the fragments that had exploded and was about to kill Huan. Suddenly, a loud roar came from afar. Su Chen, don't be so arrogant. Su Chen looked in the direction of the voice and saw a mountain-like figure flying over. When the figure came closer, he realized that it was a titan giant that was dozens of feet tall. Chapter 979. Moreover, judging from the aura of the titan giant, his cultivation had reached stage 4 sacred level. It's the holy ancestor of the titan tribe, Lan Yu. Gasps of surprise could be heard from all around. Lan Yu was famous in the void. It was rumored that he had killed 2 stage 5 sacred level void beasts and was known to be invincible among those of the same level. You're here to stand up for the fire goblin tribe. Su Chen looked at Lan Yu and said calmly. Although he had killed a few titans, they were all below the sacred level. Was it worth it for Lan Yu to come out personally for a few ants? I'm here for another purpose. Lan Yu snorted and said, Su Chen, as long as you hand over the 2 spiritual herbs, I won't kill you. Instead, I'll give you some benefits. 2 spiritual herbs? Su Chen frowned and suddenly thought of the immortal essence grass. You're sent by heaven's scattering Taoist? Su Chen's face darkened. The conflict between him and heaven's scattering Taoist had reached an irreconcilable stage. He would never hand over the immortal essence grass. Moreover, even if he handed over the immortal essence grass, Heaven's scattering Taoist would not let him go. Since you know, why don't you hand it over obediently? Lan Yu's expression was arrogant as he looked at Su Chen with contempt. Su Chen was notorious, but Lan Yu did not seem to take it to heart. Obviously, he had absolute confidence in himself. Brother Lan, Su Chen is too arrogant. Why don't you join forces with me to kill him? Huan had an idea and suggested. Since Su Chen did not intend to let him go, they could join forces with Lan Yu to kill him. He's just an ant. If he doesn't agree, I'll kill him with one hand. Lan Yu replied with disdain. Then he glanced at Su Chen and threatened, Su Chen, a wise man submits to circumstances. Don't force me to make a move. I'll let you know the consequences of being arrogant later. Su Chen snorted coldly. With a sudden movement, he charged towards Huan. Huan was already prepared. Just as Su Chen was about to attack, she slashed down with her raging inferno divine blade. However, before he could condense a fire element spell, he suddenly felt a ripple in his soul, and he instantly fell into a state of confusion. Su Chen unleashed a drunken life dream, and while Huan was still in a daze, he raised his sword and slashed out. In an instant, a black vortex that was about 3 meters wide floated above Huan's head and slowly descended. Huan had just struggled out of the illusion when she was torn apart by the black whirlpool. All that was left was a mournful scream that lingered for a long time. Seeing this scene, the sound of cold air being sucked in could be heard from all around. Su Chen killing Huan in the blink of an eye was something that no one had expected. A 4th-level Saint Realm expert couldn't even resist a single move from Su Chen. Su Chen's strength shocked everyone present. At the same time, it also made them realize that Su Chen didn't use his full strength when he fought with Huan earlier. If they were to really fight, Huan wouldn't be a match for Su Chen even if they worked together. Lan Yu's eyelids twitched violently. Su Chen's strength was also beyond his expectations. It wasn't difficult for him to kill Huan, but he definitely couldn't do it as easily as Su Chen. With such a comparison, he was no longer confident that he could defeat Su Chen. Big guy, Huan is already dead. We can have a good fight now. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and smiled faintly. Lan Yu swallowed his saliva and said in a muffled voice, Su Chen, Heaven's scattering Taoist strength isn't something that you can fight against. You'd better hand over the item obediently. After witnessing Su Chen's strength, he was no longer willing to fight with Su Chen. Chapter 980. I'll kill Tian Sen sooner or later. Now I'll kill you first. Su Chen snorted coldly and rushed toward Lan Yu. Arrogant. Lan Yu gritted his teeth and punched toward Su Chen with a fist the size of a millstone. Su Chen did not flinch. His palm glowed with a faint golden light as he punched toward Lan Yu. Is Su Chen crazy? How dare he confront Lan Hai head-on? Seeing that Su Chen had chosen to confront Lan Hai head-on, the crowd exclaimed in surprise. Titans relied on their own strength the most. A titan like Lan Yu, who was at stage 4 of the sage level, was powerful enough to destroy the world. Su Chen was only a human and was at stage 3 of the sage level. He was inferior to Lan Hai in every aspect. Why did he do this? Lan Hai did not expect that Su Chen would dare to do this. He was stunned for a moment and then became overjoyed. In his opinion, Su Chen's action was like hitting a stone with an egg. He could take this opportunity to kill him. Go to hell. Lan Hai used all the strength in his body and smashed his fist down heavily. Boom. 2 fists of different sizes collided with each other and made an earth-shattering sound. What followed was the sound of bones breaking. Lan Hai's huge fist broke apart quickly and extended to his entire arm. In the blink of an eye, his entire arm turned into powder. Su Chen smashed Lan Hai's arm with one punch. Oh my God, how is this possible? Witnessing this unbelievable scene, the surrounding outsiders were all dumbfounded. Looking at Su Chen's eyes, they were full of deep awe and horror. It was not until this moment that they realized that they had underestimated Su Chen. Su Chen's strength was far beyond their understanding. Lan Hai looked at his missing arm and was stunned for a moment. Then he screamed in pain. You think you can compete with me in strength just because you're big? Su Chen glanced at Lan Hai and sneered. Although he was a level lower than Lan Yu, he was still a level lower. However, with the ancient God-fiend body, his body was far stronger than his peers. In addition, he had used the golden scales of the arm and the heaven-reaching hundredfold strength technique. It was reasonable for him to blow up Lan Yu's arm with one punch. Su Chen, I was wrong. I'll leave now. Lan Yu's eyes were filled with fear as he shouted at Su Chen. The power that he was so proud of couldn't even withstand a single blow from Su Chen. How could he have the courage to continue fighting with Su Chen? Do you think I'll stop just because you say so? Su Chen smiled contemptuously. He then activated Speed War Boots and rushed to Lan Yu like a ghost, ruthlessly wreaking havoc. For a moment, the sound of bones breaking and Lan Yu screaming could be heard. What terrifying strength! What a cruel method! All of the surrounding foreign beings began to tremble violently upon seeing this. They could see clearly that Su Chen had the chance to kill Lan Yu in seconds, but he chose to torture Lan Yu and make him wish he was dead. He showed his cruel side to the fullest. He's indeed the god of massacre. He's too strong, too arrogant, and too cruel. Many foreign races lamented with lingering fear. With his last scream, Lan Yu was finally tortured to death. At this moment, he was almost chopped into 8 pieces and died in a horrible way. The reason why Su Chen wanted to use this method to kill Lan Yu was mainly for others to see. He wanted the world, especially the subordinates of heaven-scattering Taoist, to understand one thing. Whoever dared to provoke him would not only die, but also be tortured to death. Chapter 981. After killing Lan Yu, Su Chen turned around and swept his gaze towards Maguang City, his eyes exuding a bone-chilling coldness. The several fire demon race saint-level experts who came out with Huahuan were scared out of their wits. Su Chen, Senior, we were wrong, please spare our lives. A fire demon race saint-level expert knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Fire demon race, there is no need for it to exist. Su Chen said indifferently. With a move of his feet, he charged forward. After easily dealing with several fire demon race saint-level experts, he opened the chaos space and pet-raising space, and summoned a group of powerhouses and spirit pets. What does he want to do? Seeing Su Chen summon so many powerhouses at once, the surrounding foreign races were shocked. Junior brother Su, what are your orders? Lung Mai narrowed his eyes and glanced around before turning to Su Chen and said, Massacre the city. Su Chen waved his hand and pointed at Maguang City. Lung Mai and the others did not hesitate and rushed into Maguang City. They have been with Su Chen for a long time and have done this kind of thing many times in the mainland. It can be said that they are familiar with it. Su Chen wants to massacre Maguang City. The surrounding foreign races were shocked. Although there have long been rumors that Su Chen wants to exterminate a city, witnessing it with their own eyes still made them feel extremely shocked. At this moment, they were deeply aware that in the void, no matter who they offend, they can't offend Su Chen. Once they provoke Su Chen, they are likely to be exterminated. Su Chen's move was to deter the small fries. Let all the forces in the void understand one thing, whether it is the mainland or the void, he, Su Chen, is not an existence that can be provoked. Maguang City was a good example of killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Soon, there were mournful screams coming from Maguang City. After Huahuan and the other saint-level experts were killed, the remaining fire demon race couldn't resist the attack of Su Chen and the others and were completely reduced to lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Maguang City was finished. Some of the outsiders sighed faintly. Maguang City has stood in the void for thousands of years and has experienced several sieges from the void beasts. The most difficult time was when they were besieged for 10 years, but they never broke through. Who would have thought that after provoking Su Chen, he would be reduced to ashes? It really made people sigh. After pausing for a moment, the group of strange races quickly left the place. Maguang City was about to be destroyed, so there was no point in staying here. More importantly, it was rumored that Su Chen was especially fond of killing people of other races. If they were disliked by Su Chen, they wouldn't even know how they died. After the crowd left, the massacre in Maguang City continued to unfold. The massacre lasted for more than 2 hours before it finally ended. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen returned to the intelligent war chariot and left with satisfaction. The harvest from the massacre this time was incomparably huge. Just the fragments alone were close to 200,000, and there were also many high-grade void energy stones. There were also more than a dozen spirit-gathering stones that Su Chen valued the most. In this way, the 9-spirit thunder flame was promoted to a saint flame. When it was promoted to a saint flame, he could study the fusion of the 3 elements. With this killer move, his strength would inevitably rise by a level. In addition, he also unexpectedly obtained a saint-level puppet of the mechanical race. Adding the previous one, he had a total of 3. Satoshi, go to the Void Fortress. Su Chen took a breath and issued an order to the intelligent war chariot. The things here were done, and it was time to go to the Qi family to meet up with Qi Mufeng. Chapter 982. Although Maguang City was not far from the Void Fortress, it would still take a few days. Su Chen had a large number of fragments to deal with, so he did not pay too much attention to it. After spending nearly a day, Su Chen sorted out the fragments and exchanged them for energy points. The total number of energy points exceeded 300,000. However, if he used all of them to exchange for full attribute fragments, he could only advance to Saint rank 5 at most. Because a level 15 full attribute fragment required 80,000 energy points, a level 16 fragment required at least 100,000 energy points, and a level 17 fragment required more than 200,000 energy points. Therefore, although 300,000 energy points seemed to be a lot, it could only be exchanged for a few fragments. Moreover, he still needed to guard against heaven-scattering Taoist and could not continue to advance in a short period of time. Su Chen pondered for a while and decided to leave 100,000 energy points as a backup, and the rest to help his spiritual pets and others to advance. After a while, he exchanged for some constitution potions of various levels and distributed them. Then he opened the planting space and communicated with the life fruit tree. Little show, how is the growth of the life fruit tree? Because he had just received an awakened divine beast, the role of the awakened divine beast could not be described. Therefore, he wanted to let the awakened divine beast grow up quickly. And the awakened divine beast needed to swallow a lot of spiritual liquid to advance. If the life tree grew up, it could produce spiritual liquid. In addition, he could also supply the spiritual liquid produced by the spring of life to the awakened divine beast. Master, the life tree is now 0.5 meter tall, and its growth rate is still very fast. But it will take some time to reach maturity, the life fruit tree said. Su Chen nodded, and then chatted with the life fruit tree for a while before closing the planting space. The growth of the life tree was very important. The 5 thunder fruit tree and other spiritual plants needed its spiritual liquid to be saved. Therefore, the spiritual liquid transformed by the spring of life could only be given to the life tree first. And the awakened divine beast's advancement could only be delayed a little. Behind, Su Chen began to close his eyes and rest. Although it had not been long since he entered the void, he had been running around and fighting nonstop. It could be said that he was physically and mentally exhausted, and he really needed a good rest. The intelligent war chariot flew continuously for 3 days without any obstruction during this period. However, when they were less than 10,000 kilometers away from the Void Fortress, it suddenly warned, Master, we've discovered a large number of saint-level beings. Which races are they from? Su Chen asked casually. Now, he was in a hurry to get to the Void Fortress. If the other party didn't come looking for trouble, he didn't plan to pay any attention to them. The God Clan, the Night Demon Clan, the Holy Demon Clan, and 2 humans, the intelligent war chariot reported. There were humans as well? Su Chen slowly opened his eyes and ordered, Satoshi, send me the images of the human saints. There weren't many human saints left. He wondered if it was Forefather Warsky. He'd told Mu Xiangkai to release Forefather Warsky and send him safely back to the Void Fortress. This place was less than 10,000 miles away from the Void Fortress. It was very likely that Forefather Warsky was here. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon, the figures of two men appeared. One of them was Mu Xiangkai. The other person was an old man with thinning hair who looked a little haggard. Su Chen had never seen Forefather Warsky before, but Shang Tsili definitely knew him. Then he opened the chaos space and called Shang Tsili out. He asked, "Secmaster, take a look. Is he Forefather Warsky of our Sun Moon Star Palace?" "Yes, he's Forefather Warsky." Shang Tsili shouted excitedly when she saw the old man's appearance. Chapter 984. Su Chen is so powerful. The corners of Forefather Warsky's mouth opened slightly when he saw the 5 foreign race saints flee. He knew Su Chen was powerful, but he didn't expect him to be this powerful. He had only shown his face once, but he was able to scare 5 saints to this extent? Su Chen wouldn't allow them to run away. He activated the rapid war boots and chased after them like a bolt of lightning. Forefather Warsky and Mu Xiangkai's eyes widened when they saw Su Chen disappear before their eyes like a ghost. As far as they knew, even a 4th stage saint couldn't achieve such speed. After 5 consecutive screams, the 5 foreign race saints were killed by Su Chen. "He's too strong," Forefather Warsky and Mu Xiangkai exclaimed. In less than a minute, he was able to kill the 5 foreign race saint-level masters. His strength was unparalleled, and it shocked them greatly. After collecting the shards, Su Chen returned to his original spot. He looked at Forefather Warsky and smiled faintly. "Senior, you're not hurt, are you?" "I'm fine." Forefather Warsky smiled and said gratefully to Su Chen, "Su Chen, thank you." "Senior, you're welcome. We're all on the same side." Su Chen waved his hand and invited Forefather Warsky and Mu Xiangkai back to the intelligent war chariot. "Forefather." Shang Tsili almost burst into tears when she saw Forefather Warsky. "Little girl, you're already so old. Why are you still crying?" Forefather Warsky teased. They were related by blood, so their relationship was particularly deep. While Forefather Warsky and Shang Tsili were catching up, Su Chen came to Mu Xiangkai's side and asked in a low voice, "Old Wei, have you eliminated the human race saints on the mysterious heavenly continent?" When he was in the Void Battleground, he had ordered Mu Xiangkai to contact the other human race saints to eliminate the Assassin League and the Temple of the Wildlands. Since they were here with Forefather Warsky, they must have done it. "Don't worry, they've all been eliminated," Mu Xiangkai assured. Su Chen nodded and then said, "Old Wei, are you willing to follow me?" The fact that Mu Xiangkai hadn't abandoned Forefather Warsky even though he was being hunted showed that his character wasn't bad. Coupled with the fact that he had the strength of a saint, it would be more or less useful to keep him by his side. "I am willing." Mu Xiangkai was inexplicably excited and agreed without even thinking about it. Su Chen's talent was extraordinary, and his strength was outstanding. Following him would have a boundless future. Only a fool would refuse. After Mu Xiangkai swore an oath to the heavens, Su Chen sent Forefather Warsky and Mu Xiangkai into the chaos space. He even gave Forefather Warsky a longevity fruit. Forefather Warsky was nearing the end of his lifespan. With this longevity fruit, he wouldn't have to worry about his lifespan. Behind him, the intelligent war chariot continued to drive towards the Void Fortress. Half an hour later, they arrived in front of a huge island. This island was at least twice the size of Flaming Leaf Forest. There were all kinds of buildings inside, and it looked very prosperous. The periphery of the island was also enveloped by a layer of energy shield. If one wanted to enter, they could only go through a specific entrance. Su Chen knew that this was the Void Fortress. He ordered that intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, fly over. The intelligent war chariot slowly flew over. When they arrived at the entrance, the two guards shouted, "The person inside, come out." Su Chen didn't mind. He opened the door and slowly walked out. "You're Su Chen?" "Senior Su." The two guards became extremely respectful when they saw Su Chen's appearance. Chapter 985. Do you know me? Su Chen rubbed his nose and said lightly. He was a little surprised that they recognized him as soon as he arrived at the Void Fortress. "Senior, we've seen your portrait," a guard quickly explained. When Qi Mufeng returned to the Void Fortress, he ordered someone to draw Su Chen's portrait and distributed it to all the guards. He was afraid that he would neglect Su Chen. Su Chen nodded and said softly, "Go and inform them that I'm here to visit." "Senior, please wait a moment. I'll go immediately," one of the guards replied and quickly ran into the passageway. Su Chen put away the intelligent war chariot and waited quietly. Not long after, a man and two women came out of the passage. Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu were among them, but Su Chen did not know the man. "Su Chen, you're here." Qi Muyu greeted him warmly. Qi Muxue pouted and looked at Su Chen, but she did not say anything. After sizing up Su Chen, the man said with a smile, "Su Chen, my name is Qi Mulei. I'm their big brother." "Brother Qi." Su Chen greeted him and then asked Qi Muyu, "Where's your second brother?" With his friendship with Qi Mufeng, if he came here, Qi Mufeng would definitely come out to welcome him. Now that he did not see Qi Mufeng, he wondered if Qi Mufeng was not in the Void Fortress. Qi Muyu's expression darkened, and he whispered, "Second brother is slightly injured." "Injured?" Su Chen's expression froze, and he asked anxiously, "Is the injury serious?" "It's not very serious. He'll recover after resting for a while," Qi Muyu replied. Su Chen sighed softly and asked, "How did your second brother get injured?" As a saint-level powerhouse, Qi Mufeng's injuries were mostly caused by someone else. If that was the case, he must help Qi Mufeng get back at him. Qi Muyu hesitated. He knew Su Chen's temper. If Su Chen knew about this, he would poke a hole in the sky. Qi Muyu had scruples, but Qi Muxue did not care so much. She said directly, "Su Chen, second brother was injured by Han Jianwu. You must help him." Hearing this, Qi Mulei at the side was stunned. In any case, the Qi family was a big family in the void. Their own family members had been injured by others, yet they let others make the decision for them. Weren't they ashamed? Han Jianwu? Su Chen narrowed his eyes, muttered to himself, and then asked, "Han Jianwu is from the Han family?" When he was on Qingyun Island, Han Jianqi, who he killed, was from the Han family. If Han Jianwu was from the Han family, Qi Mufeng's injury was most likely related to him. Because Han Jianqi was a genius of the Han family, his death would definitely cause the Han family to be furious. In the situation where the other party could not find him, it was reasonable for them to take revenge on Qi Mufeng. "He's from the Han family." Qi Muxue replied with certainty. "What's going on?" Su Chen suppressed his anger and asked. Qi Muxue said angrily, "Han Jianwu took the initiative to challenge my second brother. With my second brother's temper, of course he wouldn't back down. But Han Jianwu is also despicable. He has already reached the third stage of the saint level. Second brother is naturally not his opponent, so he was injured by him. Don't worry, I will definitely avenge Brother Qi. Han Jianwu will definitely die." Su Chen's eyes flickered with a cold light as he said coldly, "Su Chen, don't be rash." Qi Muyu hurriedly advised. Su Chen and Qi Mufeng were brothers. Qi Mufeng was bullied, and Su Chen was able to stand up for him. This made her very gratified. However, Su Chen was only a first-stage saint level. How could he be a match for Han Jianwu, who was a third-stage saint level? With her understanding of Su Chen, she was very worried that Su Chen would kill his way to the Han family. At that time, he would very likely be killed. This was something she definitely did not want to see. Chapter 986. Let's go take a look at your second brother first. Su Chen did not explain anything. With his current strength, killing Han Jianwu was about the same as pinching a chick to death. But before that, he wanted to take a look at Qi Mufeng's injuries. After all, he had a lot of good things to heal injuries. It could let Qi Mufeng recover quickly. Come, let's go in first. Qi Mulei called out. Su Chen was a distinguished guest. If he stood outside, it would be rude of him. Then let's go in first. Qi Muyu nodded and invited Su Chen to enter the Void Fortress. Behind, the group of four walked straight to where Qi Mufeng was. Just as they reached a manor, a young man suddenly walked out from inside. This person was also in his 20s. Looking at his appearance, he had some similarities with Qi Mufeng. Big brother, sister. When the young man saw Qi Mulei and the other two, he greeted them. Then, his gaze landed on Su Chen and asked in a low voice, "Who is he?" "He's your second brother's sworn brother, Su Chen," Qi Muyu introduced. "You're Su Chen?" The young man's expression changed, staring at Su Chen closely. "Yes." Su Chen nodded and asked curiously, "What's the matter?" He kept feeling that the other party's eyes revealed a strange color, as if he was very unconvinced. "Su Chen, I, Qi Mushi, challenge you." Qi Mushi's expression was solemn as he said in a deep voice, "Don't mess around." Qi Mulei trio was taken aback. Su Chen had the name of killing god. His strength was unparalleled. Qi Mushi challenging Su Chen was tantamount to striking a rock with an egg, asking for humiliation. Moreover, Su Chen was Qi Mufeng's sworn brother and was considered a guest of the Qi family. As soon as he arrived, he immediately challenged Zhang Xian without any courtesy at all. Even Qi Muxue, who was prejudiced against Su Chen, reprimanded him with a cold face. "Qi Mushi, are you out of your mind? Hurry up and leave." Qi Mushi snorted and ignored him. Instead, he looked at Su Chen and asked, "Su Chen, do you dare to accept it?" Ever since Qi Mufeng and the others came back, they kept talking about how talented Su Chen was. He himself was also an outstanding genius of the Qi clan, so he couldn't help but have the idea of competing with Su Chen. Since he met Su Chen here, he naturally didn't want to miss this opportunity. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "What's your cultivation?" "First level saint," Qi Mushi said proudly. Su Chen was slightly moved. Qi Mushi was not as old as Qi Muyu, but his cultivation had already reached the saint level. It was obvious that he was definitely considered a super genius. However, it was a little ridiculous that he wanted to challenge him with such a cultivation. "First level saint isn't bad, but in my eyes, you're not even an ant. You'd better stay where you are," Su Chen said very calmly. His words seemed arrogant, but in fact, there was no exaggeration at all. One had to know that he could even kill a fourth-level saint instantly, so a first-level saint was indeed not even an ant. As soon as he said that, Qi Muyu and the others were stunned, and their faces turned ugly. Indeed, Qi Mushi was no match for him. However, Su Chen didn't have to humiliate him like that, did he? Moreover, the scope of the attack of these words was too wide. A first-level saint was not even an ant? One had to know that Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue were only level 10. What were they then? At that moment, the two of them felt like they had suffered a ton of damage. Qi Mulei clicked his tongue and secretly shook his head. Although he was a first-level saint, from Su Chen's tone, he was actually nothing. Qi Mushi was not even an ant in Su Chen's eyes, so he was at most an ant? However, wasn't Su Chen also a first-level saint? No matter how strong he was, he couldn't be so arrogant, right? Qi Mushi's face turned pale. He gritted his teeth and said, "Su Chen, don't talk nonsense. If you have the ability, accept my challenge." "Why do you have to be so stubborn?" Su Chen sighed and chuckled. "Since you want to humiliate yourself, I'll play with you." Chapter 987. Qi Mushi could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. He rushed in front of Su Chen and threw a heavy punch. The speed of this punch was very fast. The wind of the punch was mixed with the cutting power of the wind attribute. It could be considered his strongest killing move. Su Chen scoffed at this. He did not even look at it and casually grabbed it. Suddenly, all of Qi Mushi's attacks disappeared, and the punch that was like a hot knife through butter also stopped abruptly. Your strength. Qi Mushi's eyes widened. There was a mixture of shock and disbelief in his eyes. He really couldn't figure out why his powerful punch couldn't even make a splash in front of Su Chen's hand. How powerful was Su Chen's strength? Just as he was in a daze, he suddenly felt a majestic force attacking him. He was lifted into the air without any resistance. Go back and calm down. A strange arc appeared at the corner of Su Chen's mouth. Then he threw his hand. Swoosh. Like a shooting star, Qi Mushu disappeared from sight. After a long while, the sound of something hitting the ground came from afar. Seeing this, Qi Mushu and the other two opened their mouths wide. They could not close it for a long time. They all knew that Qi Mushi would not be Su Chen's opponent, but they did not expect him to be so weak. It was no exaggeration to say that if Su Chen was serious and wanted to kill Qi Mushi, it would be no different from killing an ant. This guy is getting stronger, Qi Mushu murmured in a daze. Although she hated Su Chen, she had to admit that Su Chen was the most talented person she had ever seen. Su Chen seemed to be getting stronger every second. In just a few months, he had become so strong that he could easily toy with a level 1 sage level. Perhaps, it was really possible for him to compete with Han Jianwu. Let's go. After sending Qi Mushi away, Su Chen said calmly and walked straight into the manor. Qi Muyu regained his senses and rushed to lead the way for Su Chen. Soon, the four of them entered a simple room. There was only one person in the room. It was Qi Mufeng. He was lying on the wooden bed with a pale face. Su Chen, you've come. When he saw Su Chen walk in, Qi Mufeng's eyes lit up. He gritted his teeth and sat up. Brother Qi, are your injuries serious? Su Chen stepped forward and asked with concern. It's just a small injury, nothing serious. Qi Mufeng forced a smile. Su Chen glanced at Qi Mufeng and saw that other than his complexion being a little pale, there was nothing wrong with him. Su Chen was relieved. After a while, he took out 3 bottles of healing potion and placed them in Qi Mufeng's hands, instructing him to drink them. Healing potion came from the system. No matter what level the cultivator was at, it would be effective after consuming it. Qi Mufeng did not have the slightest doubt about what Su Chen gave him. He raised his head and drank them all. Soon, his face became flushed, and his body was full of energy. It was not a problem for him to get out of bed and walk around. Qi Muyu and the other two were stunned. They had heard of treasures that could heal injuries, but it was the first time they saw something as miraculous as healing potion that could have an immediate effect. Brother Qi, Han Jianwu can challenge you. Can we challenge him too? When Qi Mufeng had completely recovered, Su Chen talked about business. We can, but Han Jianwu is a powerhouse of the younger generation. If we want to challenge him, only the younger generation can do it, Qi Mufeng said. Among the younger generation of the Qi family, the strongest was Qi Mulyi. However, Qi Mulyi was only a 2nd stage saint rank. He would not be a match for Han Jianwu. As such, there was no suitable candidate. Even if they were sullen, they could only swallow their anger. Chapter 988. Brother Qi, I should be able to challenge on behalf of the Qi family, right? Su Chen probed. You. Qi Mufeng's expression stagnated. Su Chen was his sworn brother. If he challenged on behalf of the Qi family, there would be no problem. The point was, wasn't Su Chen only a 1st stage saint rank? No matter how powerful he was, he wouldn't be a match for Han Jianwu, right? You can, but Han Jianwu is a 3rd stage saint rank. Before Qi Mufeng finished speaking, he was interrupted by Su Chen. It doesn't matter. Han Jianwu is just an ant in my eyes. I can kill him with one hand. A 3rd stage saint rank was just an ant? Kill him with one hand? Qi Mufeng was stunned. Qi Mulyi and the other two also opened their mouths wide. Su Chen had said before that a 1st stage saint rank was not even an ant in his eyes. After seeing Su Chen's strength, they admitted this point. But Han Jianwu was 2 levels higher than Su Chen. Su Chen still said this, wasn't he bragging a bit? Su Chen, are you serious? Qi Mufeng swallowed his saliva, looked at Su Chen in a daze and probed. Brother Qi, you just need to ask someone to send the challenge. Su Chen's face was brimming with a confident smile. Qi Mufeng was a bit hesitant. He had been in contact with Su Chen for a period of time, and knew that Su Chen was not a person who spoke without thinking. As long as he wanted to do something, he would have absolute confidence in it. But Han Jianwu was definitely an expert among experts. He was even more talented than Han Jianwu. He was really afraid that Su Chen would fail miserably. Su Chen, Han Jianwu isn't an ordinary zombie. He's countless times more powerful than the 3rd stage saint-ranked zombie you killed. Qi Mufeng reminded. He wondered if Su Chen was so confident because he had killed a level 3 saint-level zombie before. Su Chen knew that if he did not reveal his cultivation, Qi Mufeng would not believe him. Just as he was about to speak, an angry voice came from outside. Su Chen, come out for this old man. Oh no, second uncle is here. Qi Muxue and the others' faces changed slightly. The person who spoke was Qi Chong, their second uncle. He was also a 3rd stage saint rank expert. Qi Chong had a fiery temper and was very protective of his children. He especially doted on Qi Mushi. They could all imagine that Qi Mushi must have been bullied by Su Chen. He was not convinced and went to complain to Qi Chong. Su Chen, this is our second uncle, Qi Chong. He has a bad temper. Please don't mind him, Qi Mufeng explained with a smile. It's okay. Su Chen said faintly. He had seen many people with bad tempers. But as long as they were not irritable in front of him, it would be fine. Otherwise, they would be very hurt. The Fire Demon clan was a typical example. Of course, Qi Chong was Qi Mufeng's second uncle after all. With this layer of relationship, he would at most teach him a lesson. Su Chen, my second uncle is here to seek justice for me. Are you too scared to come out? Seeing that Su Chen did not appear for a long time, Qi Mushi shouted. Your younger brother still needs to be educated. Su Chen sighed softly and slowly walked out of the room. Qi Mufeng's face suddenly changed. The consequences of angering Su Chen were very serious. Qi Mushi had repeatedly provoked Su Chen. This time, it was likely that he would suffer some physical pain. On one side was his sworn brother, and on the other side was his younger brother. At this time, Qi Mufeng was very embarrassed and kept scolding Qi Mushi. Su Chen walked out of the room and squinted at Qi Chong. He smiled faintly and said, I'm Su Chen. Senior, what can I do for you? Qi Chong looked at Su Chen and said coldly, Su Chen, since your Mu Feng's sworn brother, apologize to Mushi, and this matter will be over. Su Chen curled his lips and smiled contemptuously. The person who wants me, Su Chen, to apologize hasn't been born yet. Chapter 989. He's really arrogant. Qi Chong smacked his lips hard. He had long heard that Su Chen was unscrupulous and extremely arrogant. Today, he finally saw it for himself. Second uncle, Qi Mushi was in the wrong in the first place. How can you vent your anger on Su Chen? Seeing that the atmosphere was tense, Qi Muyu hurriedly tried to smooth things over. He knew Su Chen's temper very well. He would kill someone if he did not agree with him. The reason why he had not made a move until now was entirely on Qi Mufeng's account. If he angered Su Chen, Qi Chong might not be his opponent. Sister, how can you speak for an outsider? Qi Mushi was furious. Shut up. Qi Mufeng shouted coldly and lectured with a straight face. Su Chen is my sworn brother. How did he become an outsider? If you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll break your legs. Qi Mushi was completely dumbfounded. He really did not understand why his brother and sister were blaming him for being in the wrong. It was as if Su Chen was their biological brother. Brother Qi, the child is insensible. Just reprimand him a few times will do. Don't lower yourself to his level. Su Chen persuaded with a smile. Although he was not as old as Qi Mushi, he spoke like an elder and completely treated Qi Mushi as a child. Hearing that, Chi Mulei and the others were stunned. Damn it! Chi Mushi was so angry that the corners of his mouth trembled. Chi Chong looked at Suchin coldly and snorted softly. Suchin, are you really not going to apologize? Chi Mufeng and the others were defending Suchin. He almost knew that Suchin was in the wrong first. However, since he was here to stand up for Chi Mushi, he had to do something. Moreover, in his opinion as an elder, it was not too much to ask for this. When Chi Mufeng still wanted to persuade him, Suchin interrupted, "Brother Chi, I'll handle this myself." With that, he turned his gaze to Chi Chong and said indifferently, "Old Chi, I'll give you a chance. If you can take 3 of my moves, I'll apologize." As soon as he said this, everyone was stunned. Suchin challenged Chi Chong. He even set a 3-move agreement? One had to know that Chi Chong was a 3rd-stage saint. Even at this level, he was still one of the best. How could Suchin dare to boast so shamelessly? "Ah, you have guts. Then I'll take 3 of your moves." Chi Chong laughed wildly. Even a 4th-level saint-ranked powerhouse wouldn't dare to say such words, but Suchin dared to say such arrogant words. At this moment, he was completely enraged and swore to teach Suchin a lesson. "Suchin, you're not really going to fight, are you?" Chi Mufeng smiled bitterly. "Brother Chi, don't worry. I'll teach him a lesson at most. I won't kill him," Suchin said seriously. Chi Mufeng was stunned. He was worried that Suchin would be at a disadvantage, but he didn't expect Suchin to say such words. "You're too arrogant." Chi Mulei swallowed hard. It was his first time seeing someone as arrogant as Suchin. "Old Chi, since you've agreed, I won't hold back." Suchin looked at Chi Chong, and his voice gradually turned cold. "Bring it on." Chi Chong roared. Suchin didn't waste time. He moved his feet and instantly appeared in front of Chi Chong. At this moment, he didn't hold back at all. The aura he emitted was like a vast ocean, surging endlessly. Suchin is a 3rd-level saint-ranked powerhouse. Chi Mulei's face paled as he screamed. Chi Mufeng and the other 2 also widened their eyes in shock and disbelief. They clearly remembered when they parted ways with Suchin. Suchin was only a 1st-level saint-ranked powerhouse. Could it be that in just a few months, Suchin had consecutively advanced 2 levels and reached 3rd-level saint-ranked? Even a monstrous genius couldn't advance 2 levels in such a short time, right? Was Suchin still human? Chapter 990. He's actually a stage 3 sage. Chi Mushi was so scared that his whole body trembled. If he had known that Suchin was a stage 3 sage, he would never have provoked Suchin. Now, he felt like he had shot himself in the foot. Chi Chong was also shocked. He did not dare to be careless in the face of an expert of the same level. Suddenly, a shield appeared in his hand, emitting a dazzling starlight. That shield had reached the level of a sacred artifact. He originally thought that he could use it to block Suchin's attack. Unexpectedly, Suchin did not take it seriously at all. When he rushed in front of him, he quickly released his mental strength to bind Chi Chong. At the same time, he raised his hand to cast a drunken dream. All of a sudden, Chi Chong felt a wave of dizziness and confusion. He immediately fell into an illusion and could not extricate himself. Suchin flashed in front of Chi Chong, reached out to grab his neck, activated the heavenly strength technique, and threw him out. There was a whoosh. Chi Chong instantly disappeared on the spot. He was directly thrown away. Witnessing that scene, everyone present was stunned and could not come back to their senses for a long time. A dignified 3rd-stage saint-rank powerhouse was thrown away like trash by Suchin? Even though they saw it with their own eyes, they still felt that it was inconceivable. Previously, Suchin also treated Chi Mushi in the same way. However, Chi Mushi was only a stage 1 sage, while Chi Chong was a stage 3 sage. Suchin could still do that easily. How strong was he? They even thought that if Suchin wanted to kill Chi Chong, it would be no different from crushing an ant. So he can really do it. Chi Mulei took a deep breath and sighed from the bottom of his heart. At first, he thought that Suchin was boasting shamelessly, but he did not expect Suchin to be so conservative. What was the pact of 3 moves? Chi Chong could not even withstand one move under Su Chen's hands. They weren't even on the same level. Moreover, looking at Su Chen's relaxed appearance, he even felt that a fourth-level saint rank might not necessarily be Su Chen's opponent. After sending Chi Chong away, Su Chen looked at Chi Mushi. Su Chen, I was wrong. Don't lower yourself to my level. Chi Mushi felt a chill run down his spine when Su Chen's gaze landed on him. He quickly begged for mercy. Let me teach you a lesson on behalf of your brother and sister. In the future, keep your eyes open. Some people are not people you can provoke. Su Chen snorted and released his mental strength to pull Chi Mushi to his side. Then he slapped him. Put. With a crisp sound, the corner of Chi Mushi's mouth was covered in blood and flesh. Then, just like Chi Chong, he was thrown out of sight. Seeing this, Chi Mufeng and the other three heaved a sigh of relief. In the beginning, they were a little worried that Su Chen would be ruthless. Fortunately, Su Chen only taught them a lesson and controlled it well. Just as Su Chen was about to walk back, a majestic voice echoed in his ears. Who dares to behave atrociously in my Qi family? The ancestor is here. Qi Mufeng and the other three's expressions froze. Su Chen followed the voice and soon saw a chubby old man with white eyebrows and a white beard. This person was the strongest person in the Qi family, the 5th-level saint rank Qi Qingchuan. He happened to be nearby. After learning that Chi Chong was thrown out like trash, he wanted to see who was so arrogant to behave atrociously in the Qi family. Ancestor, Qi Mufeng and the other three bowed to Qi Qingchuan. Chapter 991. Qi Qingchuan nodded slightly, then his eyes drifted to Su Chen, and said coldly, Chi Chong was thrown away by you? Su Chen replied calmly. Even in the face of a 5th-stage saint rank powerhouse, there was still no ripple on his face. For you? Qi Qingchuan frowned slightly. There were not many people who could maintain such a calm state in front of him. Especially a young man like Su Chen, it was even rarer, so he had a strong interest in Su Chen. Su Chen? Su Chen said lightly. You are Su Chen? Qi Qingchuan's expression suddenly changed, squinting his eyes as he looked at Su Chen again, and said softly, I heard that you have not been in the void for long, but you have done several earth-shattering things. Your reputation is indeed very resounding. Speaking of this, he paused slightly and then continued, you made a big fuss in Blacktooth City and left. You killed dozens of saint ranks in the void battlefield, then killed Lan Yu of the Titan race and Huahuan of the Fire Demon race, and finally destroyed Miguang City. Did you do all these? These things were all hearsay. Whether it was true or not, he had to confirm it from Su Chen's mouth. When Qi Mufeng and others heard these things, they were completely stunned. Made a big fuss in Blacktooth City? Killed dozens of saint ranks in the void battlefield? Then killed Lan Yu and Huahuan? And destroyed Miguang City? It could be said that each of these things was earth-shattering. Even completing one of these things was extremely difficult, but Su Chen did all these things? This was too exaggerated. It was too incredible. Qi Mufeng and others didn't quite believe it. They all looked at Su Chen, waiting for Su Chen's reply. Su Chen curled his lips and said very calmly, it's just a small matter, not worth mentioning. This? Qi Mufeng and the other three sucked in a breath of cold air. Since Su Chen said so, it must not be wrong. But how did Su Chen do it? Even if he had advanced to the 3rd level of the Saint Realm, he shouldn't be so fierce, right? The others could be ignored, but Huahuan and Lan Yu were both famous 4th-level Saint rankers. How could Su Chen kill them just like that? Qi Qingchuan clicked his tongue and took a deep breath before saying, Su Chen, I already know about you and Mu Feng becoming sworn brothers. Logically speaking, you can be considered half a member of the Qi family. However, it is still inappropriate for you to behave so atrociously in the Qi clan. Senior, what do you plan to do? Su Chen said indifferently. Qi Qingchuan thought for a moment and replied, apologize to Qi Chong. As for Qi Mushi, don't worry about him. After all, Qi Chong was an elder of the Qi clan. If he didn't get back some face after being abused, how could he raise his head in the Qi clan in the future? However, he more or less understood Su Chen's temper and didn't force him too much. His tone was still very gentle. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said in a low voice, "Senior, I have a suggestion." "Tell me." Qi Qingxuan didn't care. Su Chen cleared his throat and said seriously, "Senior, you want me to apologize to Qi Chong, but I don't want to accept it. But if you can take 3 moves from me, I don't mind apologizing." What? Qi Mufeng and the other 3 were stunned. Su Chen actually wanted to challenge Qi Qingxuan and set a 3-move agreement. Was he crazy? Qi Qingxuan was not someone Qi Chong could compare with. As the ancestor of the Qi clan, Qi Qingxuan's strength was unparalleled. Even among the 5th level of the Saint Realm, he was absolutely top-notch. Even if a 6th-level Saint Realm wanted to defeat Qi Qingxuan, it wouldn't be easy. Su Chen was only a 3rd-level Saint Realm, but he dared to say such words and set a 3-move agreement. Qi Mufeng and the others were dumbfounded. Chapter 992. Qi Qingxuan was also slightly stunned. After coming to his senses, he chuckled and said, "Su Chen, are you serious?" No matter how strong Su Chen was, he was only at stage 3 of the sage level, 2 levels lower than him. Why did he dare to challenge him? It was very difficult for him to understand this point. "I'm serious." Su Chen nodded and replied affirmatively. Then he smiled and said, "Senior, if I can't control it and hurt you later, you can't blame me. After all, we're just learning from each other." The reason why he insisted on fighting with Qi Qingxuan was that he couldn't swallow his anger. More importantly, he wanted to compete with a real expert. Because in the future, when he traveled in the void, the people sent by Heaven's scattering Taoists to kill him would only become stronger and stronger. There would definitely be people at stage 5 of the sage level. Fighting with Qi Qingxuan was also a rehearsal in advance to increase his combat experience. As soon as he said that, Qi Mufeng and the other 3 almost choked to death. Su Chen was actually worried about hurting Qi Qingxuan? He was too good at bragging, wasn't he? Would it kill him to keep a low profile? Damn it, this guy is getting more and more arrogant. Qi Muxue was indignant and shouted in her heart. Su Chen was arrogant in front of others, but he was also so presumptuous in front of the Qi clan's ancestor, which made her extremely angry. Of course, she could only criticize him in her heart. She absolutely did not dare to say it out. If this was heard by Su Chen, who knew what kind of revenge he would suffer? In fact, they didn't know that Su Chen had a purpose for saying that. He wanted to provoke Qi Qingxuan and make him exert his strongest combat strength. Only in this way could he better hone himself. Qi Qingxuan swallowed hard and his chest heaved violently. He could no longer suppress the anger in his heart and said in a muffled voice, "Su Chen, come on. If you can hurt me, you're capable. Then I won't hold back." As Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed, his body suddenly rose, and in the blink of an eye, he was 10 feet away. At the same time, his aura began to rise, and soon, he reached the 4th stage of the Saint rank. Transformation technique. Qi Qingxuan was shocked. Previously, he didn't care at all. After all, Su Chen was 2 levels lower than him. But now it was different. After transforming, Su Chen had advanced to the 4th level of the Saint rank, only 1 level away from him. He had heard of Su Chen's valiant battle prowess. Killing enemies above his level was as easy as pie. At this moment, he was truly afraid that he wasn't Su Chen's opponent. Su Chen still has such a trump card? Qi Mulei's mouth was wide open. He was extremely shocked. On the other hand, Qi Mufeng and the other 2 were deeply worried. At first, they were worried about Su Chen, but now they were worried about Qi Qingxuan. Because they all knew how strong Su Chen's battle prowess was. He was invincible among the same level, and it was extremely easy for him to kill enemies above his level. Then, would Qi Qingxuan still be a match for him? After transforming, Su Chen was like a ferocious beast, fiercely rushing toward Qi Qingxuan. The aura emitted from his body was extremely terrifying, wantonly sweeping in all directions. Suddenly, Qi Mufeng and the other 3 were out of breath. Qi Qingxuan's face was extremely solemn. When Su Chen rushed in front of him, he gritted his teeth and threw out a punch. Su Chen also did not flinch, raising his hand and throwing out a punch. "You're still too inexperienced." Seeing that Su Chen chose to fight him head-on, Qi Qingxuan's mouth curled into a strange arc. He had once awakened a special ability in the void battlefield, which could increase his strength by 10 times in an instant. The power of the 5th stage of the Saint rank was already enough to destroy the world. Who could stop it if it was increased by 10 times? Therefore, Su Chen's choice of head-on was tantamount to hitting a stone with an egg. Chapter 993. It's over. The expressions of Qi Mufeng and the other two changed at the same time. Su Chen's strength was so great that almost no one in the world could match it, especially Qi Mufeng, who knew this very well. That day on the island of the zombie country, Su Chen easily lifted the greater Thousand Thunder Mountain that weighed hundreds of thousands of pounds. His strength was so great that it was shocking. Even if Qi Qingxuan had the ability to increase his strength by 10 times, it was not enough in front of Su Chen. "You're too naive." Su Chen snorted coldly and used the 100 times strength technique to smash it out. Bang! It was accompanied by an earth-shattering crash. At the center of the two fists, a huge storm seemed to have been created. The violent aura raged, and even the sky and earth changed color. Then, there was a painful groan. Qi Qingxuan was shot back like a cannonball, destroying countless buildings and leaving a long gully on the ground. The Grand Ancestor was sent flying by a punch? Witnessing this incredible scene, Qi Mulei was stunned and his brain kept buzzing. Although he was very unwilling to believe it, the truth was right in front of him. Qi Qingxuan was indeed sent flying by Su Chen's punch. Qi Mufeng and the other two had expected this, so they were not as shocked as Qi Mulei. They just sighed deeply. Dong dong. Not long after, Qi Qingxuan ran over from a distance in a sorry state. Seeing Qi Qingxuan's ragged clothes and dusty face, Qi Muxue and the others smiled bitterly. "Senior, there are still 2 more moves. Do you want to continue?" Su Chen said calmly. Su Chen still felt that it was not enough to crush Qi Qingxuan with strength. If Qi Qingxuan still wanted to continue, he would make Qi Qingxuan admit defeat. "Continue!" Qi Qingxuan roared angrily out of humiliation. After being crushed by Su Chen in front of so many people, he had lost all his face. No matter what, he had to regain some face. "Then let's continue." Su Chen chuckled. Seeing Su Chen smile, Qi Qingxuan couldn't help but get angry. He coldly shouted, "Su Chen, don't be too arrogant. This time, I'm serious." As soon as he finished speaking, he took out a spirit beast pouch from his waist and threw it forward. A black light shot out from it. Soon, it transformed into a black leopard that was over 10 meters long. Judging from its aura, this leopard had reached the 4th stage of the Saint rank. Dark Abyss Spirit Rock Leopard. Qi Mufeng and the others exclaimed in unison. The Dark Abyss Spirit Rock Leopard was a spirit pet that Qi Qingxuan had subdued a long time ago. Its combat strength was unusually strong. What they didn't expect was that Qi Qingxuan, a 5th stage Saint rank, would summon a spirit pet to fight Su Chen one-on-one. This was too shameless, wasn't it? As a member of the Qi family, they were a little disdainful of Qi Qingxuan's actions. Spirit pet. Su Chen was a little surprised. Spirit pets are also the embodiment of my combat strength. If you're afraid, just admit defeat. Qi Qingxuan said disdainfully. After fighting Su Chen head-on, he knew that he was definitely no match for Su Chen. If he wanted to regain his face, he had to have a helper. Although this was a little inappropriate, he couldn't care less. Hearing this, Qi Mufeng and the others couldn't help but click their tongues. When Qi Qingxuan said these words, it was obvious that he was forced by Su Chen and had no other way out. If you can use a spirit pet, you should have said so earlier. Su Chen rubbed his nose, opened his storage pouch naturally, and summoned the golden puppet. The golden puppet was originally only at the 1st stage of the Saint rank, but after combining 3 Saint rank puppets, it reached the 4th stage of the Saint rank. Chapter 994. Fourth Stage Saint Rank Puppet. Sensing the berserk aura emitted by the golden puppet, Qi Qingxuan's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Originally, he wanted to rely on the onyx spiritual rock leopard to crush Su Chen, but now it seemed that his calculations were clearly wrong. Qi Mufeng and the others were also inexplicably shocked. They knew that Su Chen had a golden puppet, but wasn't the golden puppet a first stage saint rank? How could it advance by leaps and bounds in just a few months? It actually reached the fourth stage saint rank? It was really inconceivable. Su Chen's methods are really endless. Qi Mulei was shocked and couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Otetsu, kill it for me. Su Chen stretched out his hand and pointed at the onyx spiritual rock leopard, giving the order. No problem. The golden puppet sneered and pounced at the onyx spiritual rock leopard. The onyx spiritual rock leopard was not to be outdone, and soon fought with the golden puppet. Su Chen turned his gaze to Qi Qingxuan and smiled faintly. Senior, let's continue. Qi Qingxuan actually didn't want Su Chen to continue, because he knew that he wasn't Su Chen's opponent. But Su Chen didn't give him a chance to speak at all, and at this moment, he bravely rushed up to kill. Fight! Qi Qingxuan quickly took out a pitch-black giant axe and raised it to chop at Su Chen. Halfway, Su Chen suddenly stopped, and then used Drunken Dream from afar. Qi Qingxuan didn't know what was going on, but suddenly felt a ripple in his soul, and he became somewhat absent-minded. But after all, he was a fifth-stage saint-rank powerhouse. His willpower was abnormally strong, and he quickly broke free. But in the next moment, he felt an invisible force attacking him. Realizing that it was mental power, he didn't panic, and when he was about to use his strength to break free, an abnormally powerful aura suddenly appeared behind him. Before he could figure out what was going on, he suffered a heavy blow from his back and was knocked to the ground on the spot. The strength of this blow was definitely not small, and Qi Qingxuan's head buzzed, and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Qi Qingxuan resisted the pain and turned his head. When he saw another Su Chen appear in front of him holding a small mountain, he was completely stunned. Because he clearly saw that not far away, there was another identical Su Chen not far away. This was not the main point. The main point was that the aura emitted by the two Su Chens were the same, both had reached the fourth level of the saint rank. He couldn't even deal with a single Su Chen dream. The appearance of two Su Chens made him completely lose the will to resist. Incarnation? Why are there two identical Su Chen? Qi Mulei couldn't be more surprised. Once again, he was shocked by Su Chen's endless means. Sigh. Qi Mufeng and the other two sighed in unison. They all knew that Qi Qingxuan's defeat was a foregone conclusion. When Su Chen performed the transformation technique, they realized this. But they definitely didn't expect that Qi Qingxuan would lose so miserably and so quickly. It felt as if Qi Qingxuan couldn't even withstand a single blow from Su Chen. They even realized that Su Chen hadn't fully exerted his strength, and he hadn't used any of his powerful killing moves. Once he used them, Qi Qingxuan would have no chance of surviving. Su Chen is too terrifying. Qi Mu looked at Su Chen in a daze and sighed deeply. After smashing Qi Qingxuan to the ground, Su Chen withdrew his second primordial spirit and didn't continue to attack. After all, Qi Qingxuan was the ancestor of the Qi family, so he had to save some face for him. Seeing that Su Chen didn't attack again, Qi Qingxuan heaved a heavy sigh and quickly got up from the ground. Although he didn't suffer any injuries, he still lost all his face. His old face was completely red. Chapter 995. Senior, let's stop here. Su Chen put away the Atlas polymorph and looked at Qi Qingxuan with a faint smile. You win. I won't interfere in your matters. Qi Qingxuan let out a muffled groan and quickly left with the dark nether spirit rock leopard, who had also been beaten very badly. He originally came to stand up for Qi Chong, but he didn't expect to be slapped in the face by Su Chen. Qi Qingxuan was so regretful that his intestines were clear. How could he still have the face to stay here? Moreover, when he returned this time, he would immediately announce that he would go into seclusion for at least 3 to 5 years. He had to wait for this matter to die down before he could show his face. After Qi Qingxuan left, Su Chen put away the golden puppet and said to Qi Mufeng, "Brother Qi, let's go challenge the Han family." But Qi Mufeng agreed without any hesitation this time. Su Chen could even crush the 5th stage Saint rank Qi Qingxuan. Dealing with the 3rd stage Saint rank Han Sword 5 was just child's play for him. Qi Mulei and the other two didn't object. Later, Su Chen took out the intelligent war chariot and went straight to the Han family. On the way, Qi Mufeng came to Su Chen and asked in a low voice, "Su Chen, how did you advance so quickly?" Advancing 2 levels in a few months, even a genius wouldn't be able to do it. "Brother Qi, I have something that can help you level up quickly. When there's a chance, I can also help you level up quickly," Su Chen said meaningfully. Using the Constitution Potion would allow him to level up quickly. With his relationship with Qi Mufeng, he would also give Qi Mufeng a Constitution Potion. However, he had to save the energy points for backup. When he obtained a large number of fragments next time, he could give Qi Mufeng a bottle of level 13 Constitution Potion to help him reach 2nd stage Saint rank. "Su Chen, thank you." Qi Mufeng was extremely excited. He had absolute trust in Su Chen. Since Su Chen had said so, he would definitely do it. As for what it was exactly, he would not get to the bottom of it. Everyone had their own secrets, and asking too many questions would only cause Su Chen's disgust. Qi Mushue's eyes lit up when she heard that there was something that could help her level up quickly. Then he came to Su Chen's side and said, "Su Chen, my sister and I have been stuck at level 10 for many years. We haven't been able to break through to False Saint. Can you help us? Let's see how you perform later." Su Chen laughed, then turned to Qi Mufeng and said, "Brother Qi, let me know when we reach the Han residence. I need to rest first." After he finished speaking, he did not give Qi Mushue a chance to speak. He sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. Damn it! Qi Mushue was furious. Last time, Su Chen said the same thing, so she tried her best to perform. However, in the end, Su Chen did not give her anything. This time, he said the same thing again. Wasn't he obviously teasing her? She felt that her lungs were about to explode from anger, but she did not dare to flare up. She simply wanted to cry but had no tears. 3 days later, the intelligent war chariot successfully arrived at the Han residence. As one of the top 10 hidden families, the Han family was even stronger than the Qi family. The island they were on was several times larger than the Qi family. It was similar to a small continent. Looking from afar, not only were there groups of buildings, but there were also tall mountains and flowing water. Su Chen glanced outside and called for everyone to get out of the car. "Who are you people? Why have you come to our Han residence?" A few Han family guards stood in front of Su Chen and the others and questioned loudly. "Call Han Jianwu out. I want to challenge him." Su Chen replied coldly. "Challenge?" The guards were stunned for a moment. Then they mocked, "Kid, are you King stupid? Are you worthy to challenge our Han family's 5th master?" Bang! Unexpectedly, as soon as this guard's voice fell, he was slapped to death by Su Chen. Chapter 996. The rest of the guards were dumbfounded. This was the Han clan's doorstep. A mere human cultivator dared to kill someone. Wasn't this too crazy? Qi Mulei was also shocked by Su Chen's action. After all, they were here to challenge. Su Chen's killing was indeed against the rules. Qi Mufeng and the other two were very calm. They knew Su Chen's style of doing things. A mere guard dared to be rampant in front of him. He deserved to be killed. Hurry up and tell Han Sword 5 to come out. Otherwise, I'll slaughter your Han clan. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, glanced at the guards, and threatened coldly. What a big tone. The guards were indignant, but none of them dared to say anything, because they were all afraid of angering Su Chen and being killed on the spot. Soon, a guard rushed into the passageway and went to report the matter. Su Chen and the others stood outside leisurely and waited. Not long after, 2 abnormally powerful auras came from the passage. They were definitely saint-level powerhouses. It's Han Sword 5 and Han Sword 4. Chi Mulei reminded. Su Chen looked towards the entrance of the passage and saw a young man and a bald old man. According to the information he learned from Chi Mufeng and the others, Han Sword 5 was less than 30 years old. That young man should be Han Sword 5. Brother Chi, what's Han Sword 4's cultivation? Su Chen asked in a low voice. 4th stage saint level. Chi Mufeng immediately replied. Su Chen nodded and didn't ask any more. Which damned thing dares to kill in my Han clan? Are you tired of living? Han Sword 5 roared angrily as soon as he appeared. When he saw that the people who appeared in front of the door were from the Chi clan, he was stunned for a moment. Then he mocked, Chi Mufeng, wasn't it enough to teach you a lesson last time? Are you itching for a beating? Han Jianwu, don't be arrogant. Today, my brother has come to challenge you. Do you dare to accept? Chi Mufeng coldly snorted. Your brother? 5th Cold Blade's gaze fell on Chi Mulei, and then he laughed wantonly. Chi Mulei wants to challenge me? Is everyone from the Chi family looking for trouble? Chi Mulei was the strongest in the younger generation of the Chi family, but he was only a 2nd-level saint. He had absolute information that he could crush Chi Mulei. Upon hearing this, the faces of Chi Muyu and the others darkened. Chi Mulei snorted, although I'm not your opponent, he can easily crush you. With that he pointed at Su Chen. Han Jianwu sized up Su Chen. Seeing that Su Chen was only in his 20s and was also a human, he immediately felt disdain. Your Chi family really has no one left. You actually sent a human to die. Su Chen didn't get angry. He rubbed his nose and said indifferently, Han Jianwu, do you dare to accept my challenge? With just you? Seeing that Su Chen's tone was a little arrogant, Han Jianwu sized up Su Chen again and said coldly, Boy, tell me your name. I don't kill nameless people. Su Chen curled his lips. As long as you can take one move from me and not die, I will tell you. What an arrogant boy. Han Jianwu, who hadn't spoken for a long time, snorted at this time. Han Jianwu was the most outstanding genius of the Han family. Even a 5th-level saint wouldn't dare to boast that he could kill Han Jianwu in one move. Su Chen was just a weak human, but he dared to be arrogant to this extent. It was simply outrageous. Good boy, you have successfully angered me. I will definitely make you regret living in this world. Han Jianwu's face was ferocious as he gritted his teeth and roared. Su Chen's arrogant words were tantamount to a great humiliation to him. Those who dared to humiliate him, Han Jianwu, wouldn't be able to live. At this moment, he secretly swore that he would definitely tear Su Chen into pieces. Chapter 997. Cut the crap. Come out if you accept the challenge. If you don't dare, go back and be a coward. Su Chen deliberately provoked him. You're courting death. Han Jianwu could no longer hold back the anger in his heart. A purple-gold longsword suddenly appeared in his hand, and he slashed down at Su Chen from afar. The Han clan was a family of swordsmen. Almost every expert was an expert swordsman. The purple-gold longsword used by Han Jianwu was a high-grade sacred sword. The sword intent emitted from it was abnormally terrifying. It was countless times more powerful than the 5 sacred swords combined into one. It was also the most powerful sacred sword attack Su Chen had seen so far. Since you use a sword, I'll also use a sword to play with you. The corner of Su Chen's mouth drew a strange arc. He then reached out and pointed at his storage bag. Suddenly, 100 long swords flashing with lightning shot out and circled above his head. For a moment, the terrifying sword intent was like a vast ocean, surging endlessly. The thunder and lightning fluctuations shook the sky, giving people a feeling that they would be turned into ashes if they touched it slightly. The moment these 100 sacred swords appeared, Han Jianwu's purple-gold longsword trembled. 100 lightning-attributed sacred swords? Han Jianwu's eyes widened, and there was an inexplicable shock in his eyes. Su Chen still has this kind of method? Chi Mulei and the others were also extremely surprised. Chi Mufeng suddenly thought that Su Chen wanted to forge 5,000 sacred swords. The 100 swords in front of them were only a small part of it. But then again, 100 sacred swords were enough to destroy the world. How terrifying would the power of those 5,000 sacred swords be? With this thought in mind, Qi Mufeng swallowed hard. He didn't dare to think about it anymore. On the other side, Han Jianwu was already scared out of his wits. His body trembled violently, and he couldn't wait to escape. But he also knew that Su Chen's sacred swords had locked onto him from afar. If he ran away, he would only die faster. He had no choice but to grit his teeth and fight to the death with Su Chen. The 100 saint-level swords above Su Chen's head quickly fused together, turning into a lightning saint sword about 30 meters long. Along with Su Chen's cold howl, the lightning-attributed sacred sword slashed down, easily turning the purple-gold longsword into dust. In an instant, it appeared in front of Han's sword 5. No, Han Jianwu let out an unwilling scream and then turned into nothingness, not even leaving behind a corpse. This is too scary. Qi Muliai's heart pounded violently. Mu Ran recalled that when Su Chen fought with Qi Qingchuan, he did not use any strength at all. If he had used this move at that time, Qi Qingchuan would have been killed. What kind of freak is this guy? Qi Muxue didn't know how to describe Su Chen. Originally, he already felt that Su Chen was strong enough. But now, it seemed that he still seriously underestimated Su Chen's strength. Who the hell are you? Han Jianwu looked at Su Chen in horror and questioned in a muffled voice. The impact of Su Chen's strength on his heart was devastating. Even if Han Jianwu was killed, he couldn't summon the slightest bit of courage to take revenge. Su Chen kept the 100 sacred swords back into his storage pouch, swept a glance at Han Jianwu, and said indifferently, "If you want to know my name, take a sword from me first." Han Jianwu suddenly didn't dare to speak. Now, even if he was given 10 guts, he also didn't dare to take a sword from Su Chen. Trash! Su Chen snorted coldly and kept the fragments that exploded out. He turned to Qi Mufeng and the rest and said, "Brother Qi, let's go back." The main purpose of this trip was to kill Han Jianwu. Since his goal had been achieved, he didn't want to stay here for long. As for destroying the Han family, he didn't have this idea for the time being. After all, the Starry Sky competition was imminent. He didn't want to affect this competition. Chapter 998. Han Jianxi stared blankly as Su Chen walked away after killing him. From beginning to end, he did not even dare to let out a fart. Su Chen's group of 5 returned to the intelligent war chariot and drove straight back to the Void Fortress. On the way, Qi Muliai said, "Su Chen, I didn't expect you to be a swordsman. You're really amazing." He was also a good swordsman, but compared to Su Chen, the gap was too obvious. It was like the difference between heaven and earth. It's just a little trick. Su Chen smiled faintly. The 100 swords in one was now a powerful trump card of his. A trump card like this would generally be used at a critical moment. But Su Chen considered that there would be 1,000 swords in one and 10,000 swords in one later, and that the 3 types of magic had begun to fuse, so there was no need to keep this trump card. Such a powerful attack is still a little trick? Qi Muliai's expression froze, and he couldn't help but click his tongue. Su Chen didn't explain anything. He turned to Qi Mufeng and asked, "Brother Qi, how long until the Starry Sky tournament begins?" "There's still about 2 months left." Qi Mufeng thought for a moment and replied, 2 months? Su Chen pondered for a moment, then asked, "Brother Qi, do you know where the secret realm with the saint-level puppets is?" 2 months was too long. He definitely couldn't stay idle. He might as well take advantage of this time to go out and explore. Looking for saint-level puppets was a good choice. The effect of saint-level puppets on the golden puppet was self-evident. Every time he combined one, he could upgrade it by 1 level. At present, the golden puppet had already combined 3 puppets and reached the 4th stage of the saint level. There were still 2 saint-level puppets that he hadn't found. Once he found all of them and combined them, he would reach the 6th stage of the saint level. It would definitely be a great help to him. "Su Chen, are you going to look for saint-level puppets?" Qi Mufeng probed. Saint-level puppets are very important to me. Su Chen nodded. When do you plan to go? Qi Mufeng asked. As soon as possible, Su Chen said directly. Qi Muxue was listening attentively. When she heard that Su Chen was going to the secret realm, her eyes lit up. If she performed well, would Su Chen give her something good? Then let's go now. Qi Mufeng did not hesitate at all. He didn't know how long it would take to enter the secret realm, so there was no point in delaying the Starry Sky tournament. Later, under Qi Mufeng's guidance, the intelligent war chariot flew straight in one direction. Half an hour later, the swift bird suddenly warned, "Master, there's a powerhouse flying towards us." To be able to make the swift bird feel danger, the person's cultivation should be at least at the 4th level of the saint rank. Satoshi, lock onto them and transmit the image to me, Su Chen ordered. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon an old woman holding a black wooden staff and an old man with protruding cheekbones appeared. It's Li Changhe and Ling Fei. Qi Mulei's expression froze as he growled. Are they very famous? Su Chen rubbed his nose and said lightly. Qi Mufeng took a breath and explained, Li Changhe and Ling Fei are both at the 4th level of the saint rank. They are called the male and female bandits in the void. They often rob others in the void, and their methods are extremely cruel. Once they set their sights on a target, very few people can survive. They are the void bandits. Su Chen murmured. He had thought that they were sent by heaven-scattering Taoist, but now it seemed that it was not the case. Chapter 999. Su Chen, Ling Fei is a poison cultivator, and the wooden stick in her hand is a sacred weapon made of 10,000-year-old poisonous vines. It's extremely vicious, so you must be careful, Qi Mulei reminded him. With Su Chen's strength, which could crush a level 5 saint-level expert, he was not worried at all when facing 2 level 4 saint-level experts. However, if the other party used poison, it was necessary to remind Su Chen in case he failed miserably. Don't worry. Su Chen smiled faintly. The ancient god-fiend body was the nemesis of all poisons. If Ling Fei really used poison against him, she would definitely suffer a great loss. Of course, so far, he was not sure if Li Changhe and his wife were targeting him, so he decided to wait and see. 5 minutes later, the intelligent war chariot reminded him, Master, the 2 of them are coming towards us. Satoshi, stop. Su Chen instructed. At this moment, there was no fear on his face, and there was even a trace of excitement. After all, killing 2 level 4 saint-level experts would definitely give him a large number of fragments. He was looking forward to it very much. Everyone inside, get out. Li Changhe and his wife came to the front of the intelligent war chariot, glanced at it, and growled. Wait for me in the car. Su Chen instructed, opened the door, and slowly got out of the car. You're still a human. Li Changhe exclaimed softly and then threatened, Kid, I asked all of you to come down, why are you the only one? Are you deaf? I heard it all, but I can kill the 2 of you alone, so there's no need for them to come down. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, and a mocking smile flashed across the corners of his mouth. Ling Fei and Li Changhe were slightly stunned, and then they laughed wildly. Kid, do you know what kind of existence you're facing? How dare you say that you can kill us? Are you out of your mind? After a long time, Li Changhe stopped laughing, stared at Su Chen, and sneered. Su Chen was only a human and very young. He was at most a level 1 saint level. Therefore, in his opinion, Su Chen definitely did not know them, which was why he dared to speak so arrogantly. Aren't you 2 bandits? What's there to brag about? Su Chen said disdainfully. Since you know that, how dare you be so arrogant? Do you really want to die? Li Changhe's face was as gloomy as water. In the past, if someone had known their identity, they would have knelt down and begged for mercy. However, Su Chen did not seem to take him seriously at all. This made him feel very strange. Of course I'm going to die, but the one who dies can only be you. Su Chen smiled contemptuously, and then he used the Atlas shape-shifting technique, and his body instantly grew to 30 meters tall. At the same time, the violent pressure of a level 4 saint level was released. Shape-shifting technique. Level 4 saint level. Li Changhe was shocked. Su Chen's cultivation was so high that he had never thought of it. However, he quickly recovered. So what if he was a level 4 saint level? The couple had worked together and killed several level 4 saint level powerhouses. Kid, do you think you can show off in front of me just because you're a level 4 saint level? Go to hell. Li Changhe sneered, and with a long saber in his hand, he slashed at Su Chen. You're overestimating yourself. Su Chen sneered, and released his spiritual power to crush Li Changhe. In the next moment, Li Changhe was bound by an invisible force, and all of his movements became extremely slow. Come and help me. Realizing that Su Chen was a powerful spiritual power master, Li Changhe was scared out of his wits, and he shouted at Ling Fei for help. Chapter 1000. Ling Fei had long realized that something was amiss. When Li Changhe called for help, she pointed the wooden staff in her hand at Su Chen. However, a dark green poisonous gas shot directly at Su Chen. Su Chen, that's poisonous gas. Dodge quickly. Qi Muliai's expression changed drastically as he reminded him loudly. Su Chen was unmoved. He clenched a golden fist and punched it at Li Changhe. Are you crazy? Li Changhe was so scared that he roared. Of course, Su Chen's punch could very well take his life. However, if the poisonous gas invaded his body, he would not be able to survive. Was it necessary to fight to the death in order to kill him? Bang! Li Changhe, who was restrained by his mental strength, could not dodge. He could only watch as the golden fist smashed into his head. Then his entire head exploded and he died on the spot. I want you dead. Ling Fei charged at Su Chen crazily. Li Changhe's death had given her too much shock. She had completely forgotten that she was a poison cultivator. Poison cultivators were the same as Dharma psychics. The most suitable way to attack was from afar. It was not advisable to attack at close range. However, Su Chen had already been infected by the poison she had released. She had absolute confidence in her poisonous gas. She believed that Su Chen should have lost his ability to fight at this moment. Oh no! Qi Muliai and the others thought so too. They were all worried for Su Chen. However, at this moment, Su Chen suddenly turned around and looked directly at Ling Fei. Those pitch-black eyes were filled with an icy cold light. You're not poisoned? Ling Fei was shocked. Her forward momentum came to an abrupt halt. Su Chen did not say much. He moved his feet like a gust of wind. He charged in front of Ling Fei and slashed at her head. Ling Fei was only a poison cultivator. Her close-range combat ability was very weak. In addition, she was frightened by Su Chen's aura. She did not even have time to react before she was cut in half, following in Li Changhe's footsteps. Su Chen is not poisoned. Qi Muliai and the others were pleasantly surprised. Su Chen could kill Ling Fei so cleanly. He was definitely not poisoned. Otherwise, his movements would not be so smooth. Su Chen put away the Atlas shape-shifting skill, collected the fragments, and returned to the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen, are you all right? Qi Muliai immediately asked. Although Su did not look poisoned, he was still a little worried. What's the matter? Su Chen asked curiously. You're not poisoned? Qi Muliai asked tentatively. Ling Fei was a poison cultivator, and the poison released by the 10,000-year-old poisonous ivy was extremely vicious. How could Su Chen not feel anything at all? Su Chen smiled and said, because I'm born with a mighty body. A natural mighty body was also not afraid of any poison in the world. In essence, it was almost the same as the ancient god-fiend body. There was nothing wrong with saying that. A natural mighty body. Qi Muliai and the others were shocked. Rumor had it that people with a natural mighty body would cultivate at an extremely fast speed and would not be afraid of any poison. Their performance was exactly the same as Su Chen's. Therefore, when Su Chen said that he had a natural mighty body, no one doubted it. Satoshi, let's continue on our way. Su Chen did not explain anything and simply instructed the intelligent war chariot. Then, he sat in the driver's seat and began to sort out the fragments. 2 days later, the intelligent war chariot flew to an island shrouded in fog and stopped. Brother Qi, is this the location of the secret realm? Su Chen glanced outside and asked indifferently. It's here. Qi Mufeng nodded and then reminded, Su Chen, this secret realm is a bit strange. There is no danger in the periphery, but there are some unknown things hidden inside. There have been many high-level cultivators who went deep into it, but none of them came out. Chapter 1001. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. He knew very well that danger and opportunity were often proportional. The more dangerous a place was, the more likely it was to have good things. You two enter my chaos space first, Su Chen said to Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue. Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue were both level 10 cultivators. They were too weak. If they entered together, it was hard to guarantee that nothing would go wrong. For safety reasons, it was better to put them in the chaos space. Qi Muyu did not object. Qi Muxue was not very willing. Entering the chaos space would mean losing the opportunity to perform. If he could not perform, how would Su Chen give him anything? However, since Su Chen had arranged it this way, she did not dare to say anything. She entered the chaos space with Qi Muyu. After a while, Su Chen put the intelligent war chariot into his storage bag and entered the island with Qi Mulei. Due to the fog on the island, their vision was obstructed. They could only see 100 meters away at most. Brother Qi, where did you find that sage-level puppet? Su Chen asked. The main purpose of coming here was to find the sage-level puppet. It would be best if they could find other things, but it did not matter if they could not. Qi Mufeng looked around and shook his head. It's hard to tell the direction here. I don't remember where I found it. There were some black stones all over the island. There were no landmarks, so it was hard to tell the direction. Let's walk around first. Su Chen did not mind. After saying that, he walked straight in a direction. On the way, he took out the swift bird and told it to observe the surroundings at all times. Once there was danger or something good, it had to report immediately. Su Chen and the other two walked around the island for a few hours but did not find anything. Su Chen knew that the possibility of finding something at the island's periphery was very small, so he suggested, let's go to the depths of the island. Hearing that, Qi Mufeng and Qi Mushue's expressions changed. There were many good things in the depths of the island, but there were also dangers. Otherwise, it was impossible for so many people to go in without a single one coming out. However, thinking that Su Chen was by his side, the worry in his heart was diluted a little. With Su Chen's strength, even if he encountered a 6th-level saint rank existence, he could still put up a fight. Seeing that Qi Mufeng and Su Chen did not object, Su Chen took the lead and walked towards the depths of the island. Qi Mufeng and Lu Zilong followed closely behind. After walking for nearly an hour, the surrounding fog had become much thicker, and the range of sight had also shrunk to only a dozen meters. Su Chen had no intention of stopping. After walking for another 50 meters or so, the swift bird suddenly warned, Master, I can feel the presence of many top-grade ores, but there are also many dangerous auras. Is it deep within the island? Su Chen's expression changed. Swift Bird replied affirmatively. What kind of ores are there? Su Chen suppressed his excitement and asked. Anything that Swift Bird had its eyes on would definitely be of great value. He was very much looking forward to it. There are mechanical heart, Kongming stone, and black pure stone. Swift Bird immediately replied. Su Chen's eyes immediately lit up. Mechanical heart was a necessary item to upgrade the intelligent war chariot, and was also the energy source of the saint rank puppet. Its value was self-evident. Black pure stone could help upgrade the level of strange fire, and was also a top-grade ore. As for Kongming stone, he did not know, because this was the first time he had heard of it. Chapter 1002. Xiao Sun, what is the Kongming stone for? Suchin asked. Before Swift Bird could answer, Chi Mulei said first, the Kongming Stone's biggest function is to help a spiritual pet level up, but the process may take a long time. Help a spiritual pet level up? Su Chen's expression suddenly changed. The flaming phoenix and other spiritual pets were only at the first stage of the sacred stage, which didn't seem low, but as the opponents they encountered became stronger and stronger, they could hardly be of help. And the easiest way to quickly increase their level was to exchange 4 Constitution potions. But high-level Constitution potions easily cost tens of thousands of energy points, which he couldn't afford at all. And if the Kongming Stone could help them level up, he could save a lot of energy points. As for the long process, it was actually very easy to solve. Through the time accelerator, he could quickly shorten the time, so he could level up in a short time. Xiao Sun, what are those dangerous auras? Suchin asked. Although the mechanical heart and other ores were very tempting to him, he still needed to be careful before entering, so as not to fail miserably. It seems to be the aura of some powerful beasts, and also the aura of puppets. Swift Bird said truthfully. Beasts? Puppets? Su Chen's eyes flickered. He was now a little suspicious. Could the aura of the puppets be the sacred stage puppets of the mechanical clan? Su Chen, are we still going deeper? At this moment, Chi Mufeng asked. Of course we are going in. Su Chen said directly. Since they found the mechanical heart and other ores, this was a kind of opportunity. How could they miss it? Be careful later, there are some powerful beasts and puppets inside. Su Chen reminded. Understood. Chi Mufeng and Swift Bird nodded. Then, the three continued to walk deeper into the island. 10 minutes later, they arrived in front of a valley. Coincidentally, there was a long and narrow tunnel in front of them. Su Chen glanced at the entrance of the passageway, then released his mental strength and extended it inside. However, when the gathered mental power entered the valley, it was blocked by a very strange force. Something strange. Su Chen muttered. The only thing that he knew about that was the power of prohibition. However, the strange power in the valley was not the forbidden power. In fact, it seemed to be even more advanced than the forbidden power. Su Chen stood in place and pondered for a while. Finally, he decided to go in and take a look. No matter what was in the valley, with his current strength, there was no need for him to be afraid. Even if he couldn't win, he could use the intelligent war chariot to leave this place. Let's go in and take a look. Su Chen took a deep breath and took the lead to walk into the passage. The passageway was winding and several hundred meters long. It took Su Chen and the other two a few minutes to enter the valley. As soon as they entered the valley, Su Chen let out a soft cry of surprise. Because the valley was like a paradise. The trees were green, the birds were singing, and the flowers were fragrant. The air was especially fresh, which was a sharp contrast to the foggy scene outside the valley. When Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked around, he suddenly found that not far away, there was an old man in animal skin riding a dinosaur-like demon beast slowly coming over. Master, that's a stage 2 Saint-level Zephyr. I feel that it's very dangerous. The Swift Bird suddenly reminded. How could a stage 2 Saint-level be dangerous? Su Chen was confused. Another 3 slaves. Today's our lucky day. At this moment, the old man with animal skin came closer. He glanced at Su Chen and the other two and laughed wantonly. Chapter 1003. Slaves. Su Chen and the other two looked at each other and chuckled. Did the old man with animal skin think that he could be so arrogant because he had a sacred zephyr? How ridiculous! Do you think I'm joking with you? The old man with animal skin sneered when he saw how calm Su Chen and the other two were. Do you know who we are? How dare you talk so arrogantly? Chi Mulei said disdainfully. He was also a stage 2 sacred level expert. Even without Su Chen, he was confident that he could kill the old man. You are all sacred level experts, right? The old man with animal skin asked casually. Since you know that we are all sacred level experts, why are you still so arrogant? Aren't you afraid that we will kill you? Chi Mufeng asked in confusion. The old man with animal skin did not have any aura. He looked like an ordinary person. However, he had a stage 2 sacred level spiritual pet, which was very strange. He wondered if the old man with animal skin had deliberately hidden his aura and was actually a top sacred level expert. Otherwise, how could he talk so arrogantly? Ha ha. The old man with animal skin grinned and said sarcastically, even if you are stage 10 sacred level, you will have to be slaves here. Stage 10 sacred level experts were second only to immortal state experts. Their every move could destroy the world. The old man with animal skin should know how powerful stage 10 sacred level experts were. Why did he still talk so arrogantly? Su Chen and the other two were even more confused. Just then, the old man with animal skin said again, anyone who enters here, whether it is an evolver, a Dharma reader, or a spirit reader, will lose all their abilities and become an ordinary person. Therefore, no matter what stage you are at, you are slaves in my eyes. What? Chi Mufeng and the other two were shocked. They quickly ran their force. However, they soon realized that they couldn't exert any strength at all. They had indeed been reduced to ordinary people. It was the same for Su Chen. The abilities of his 3 professions had all disappeared. However, he didn't panic like Chi Mufeng and the other two. After thinking quickly for a while, he coldly said to the old man with animal skin, we have news about our cultivation. You should also be an ordinary person, right? How are you going to suppress us? Do you think it's okay? A mocking smile appeared on the old man's face as he casually patted the Iron Wing Mad Dragon. Zephyr was a second stage saint-level demon beast. It was indeed a piece of cake for him to deal with 3 normal humans. The demonic beasts won't be suppressed? Su Chen's heart stirred. He immediately opened the pet-raising space and communicated with the spiritual pets, asking if they had lost their cultivation. The answer he got was that the Diamond Willow and the 3 Deviant Fires had lost their abilities. However, the other spiritual pets were not affected at all. Su Chen's heart immediately settled. In the pet-raising space, except for the 3 mutant wolves, the rest of the spiritual pets had been promoted to the saint level. Among them, the highest awakened divine beast had reached the 5th stage of the saint level. Even if their combat strength was weak, it was very easy to deal with a 3rd stage saint-level demon beast. Therefore, even if they had lost their cultivation, it was very easy to kill the old man with animal skin. I'll give the 3 of you a chance. As long as you agree to be my slaves, I promise you won't die. Otherwise, you'll become Zephyr's food. Seeing that Su Chen and the other two were silent, the old man with animal skin thought they were afraid and took the opportunity to threaten them. You're too naive. Su Chen sneered and opened the pet-raising space. The 4 spiritual pets, the gold-devouring beetle, the flaming phoenix, the dark sky overlord turtle, and the super ancient devouring King Kong mosquito, came out one after another. So many saint-level spiritual pets? The old man with animal skin's eyes were about to pop out. He shouted involuntarily, "You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure."